Dahn.
Let's go.
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this, wow, Louisiana seems to be the state of national champions. Tuesday, June 27, 2023. Program starts now.
Sports!
Louisiana, the state down there in the south, in the bayou. It's hot, it's swampy. But what they have proven is that their fans like to have a good time, and their players are fucking incredible at what they do. Look out for Brian Kelly and the LSU football team to turn it around this upcoming season. And I know they went on a run and went into the SEC championship game because they had a favorable schedule, but they got good late. They're going to have to, because that school is not going to slow down for the football team to be ass. That is just not how it's going to go down there. Obviously, we all saw Angel Reese with the "You Can't See Me" to Caitlin Clark's face and the "Ring Me," which was a nice callback to Joe Burrow, who did the "Ring Me" at LSU. And now, the national champions of baseball for this particular season are the LSU Tigers.
Wow.
Big congratulations. Didn't even have to see the #1 overall pick coming up in the draft, Mr. Skeens, although we did see him warm up. He threw a fucking softball, big baseball thing. Looked like it was coming out 85, 90 miles an hour. And they did a little do-si-do throw. We thought maybe he would come in to clean it up, maybe to close it. Have the ball in the hand of the man who's the best baseball player that's ever been through your program, is how people were describing it, and let him be the one that won it. And then the game started happening. They're like, dude, like, cool story, I guess, after you throw 100 and some pitches a couple of days and you're like, old school, you're our guy, you win it. We're up fucking 14 runs right now. You don't have to do anything. We can actually, we'll put all the guys on our bullpen in for just like 2 pitches. And
Simple.
Then everybody will get a chance to be in the World Series. We'll get a bunch of experience. Always good. The LSU Tigers bounce back after getting humiliated 24-4 or whatever, and end up putting a throttling on the Florida Gators, who had a hell of a run.
Good run,
Hell of a run, Florida Gators.
Hell of a run again.
That was a good run out there in Omaha. Now, #5 overall seed LSU takes on #2 overall seed Florida. LSU wins in dominant fashion. And I would like to say to college baseball, thank you for filling in the gaps.
You did good.
Omaha was a good time. Now, we all know Ryan McGee had to listen to Shake Bloatin' last night from all the way immediately after that World Series game ended until about 3, 4 in the morning, because GEAUX Tigers were going all night long, I would assume. Need a country musician in the parking lot of the Hilton. They were getting that Omaha run there, 2 weeks. Pretty electrifying.
Long, too.
I'm happy we got into it. Now, at the beginning, I think we were maybe watching some teams that we were told was going to go on. Wake was supposed to go on a big-time run, I believe. Vandy, maybe? No.
Yeah, Vandy's always good.
Vandy, Tennessee, I think was supposed to go.
Was in it.
And then instead at the end, it's the 2 best players that were playing in the thing, the #1 overall pick and the Golden Spikes Award winner, who turned down millions of dollars, I guess, a couple years ago. Already been drafted high. Dylan Cruz, I think is his name. He was a stud, seemed to make contact with every single pitch that happened. It was fun to learn about. It was fun to pass the time. So at the beginning of this entire tournament, I said, I'm gonna be honest, I'm never gonna fucking watch this thing.
No chance.
There is little to no chance, because I don't watch the MLB. So I just assumed college would be worse than the MLB. It was awesome. Watching those games was fun. It felt like every single pitch mattered. It felt like there was actual momentum and feelings and vibes. And obviously the crowds have been going bananas the entire time. In Omaha, it's kind of a part of it. But I like the vibes. I like the energy. I like the tourney. And I like the fact that LSU seems to be a fucking wagon in sports. Good luck to anybody in any, except for Rifle, West Virginia.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Just fucking killing LSU.
And Montana State.
Montana State with the rodeo.
Yeah.
Yeah, LSU's got no shot against the Montana State rodeo.
No, they don't.
They got no shot. But it feels like in everything else, LSU is only gaining steam, getting stronger and better, which I think is great news for a beautiful place down there in Baton Rouge. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor's Mullet. One half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys Town Diggs is here. And 14-year NFL icon and rapper, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Pac-Man. Pac, great article written about you in The Athletic by Zach Kiefer. I hope the world gets to see it. Incredible story of, making some fuck-ups and then bouncing back, being a good role model, being a good human, and making the most of this life and not throwing it all away, which you certainly could have done it a couple different times, much like myself and many other people. So good on you, Pac. Lucky to have you here.
Let's go.
Lucky to have you here, bud. Let's dive back into LSU, though, here. Ty, I felt so bad for that pitcher for Florida.
A lot of action.
Cagliari.
Ooh, lot
Jack
of
Tawny.
action.
Hey, this guy was supposed to be the number one. He's going to be his number one overall pick next year, allegedly, this guy. Ping. Defensive end size.
Big son of a bitch.
Hits and pitches.
Yeah.
Just go and find strike zone last night.
No.
And that's a heartbreaker. It happened to that one tight end that ended up playing in the NFL. He was throwing 90-something. He gets
Yeah,
Yep, there it is.
Hayden Hurst. He was throwing 90-something. He gets drafted, supposed to be a guy. Then he makes it to the majors. Guy can't throw a strike.
Nope.
Just for whatever reason, it would be this far outside or inside, this far outside, just complete mental blockage that happened. And I guess baseball is something where that could easily take place because small sweet spot, have to be able to do a repeatable motion, and you have to do it on a consistent basis, much like golf, much like everything else. You could see how people get in there. He just couldn't throw a fucking strike last night, and I think it was tough to watch. I felt bad for the poor Paisano from Florida.
Yeah, for sure. I read a McGee article that basically said, like, that is kind of the knock on him is, like, he's bound to throw, like, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball behind a guy, and then on his next pitch, he'll throw, like, an ace-level MLB breaking ball for a strike. But that's kind of, we were talking about it yesterday, and I wasn't shitting on the kid when people were saying, like, Ohtani and stuff like that, because I wasn't, because he's unbelievable. But we've talked about it, like, time and time again. Like, what Ohtani is doing, he is, like, a once in, like, every millennia type player. Like, he is the only guy who is maybe the best pitcher and the best hitter. Like, there are guys in college who can hit and pitch for sure, but you just see how hard it is. Like, that I don't want to say he lost him the game, but he couldn't throw strikes, and by the time he's out, he throws 1 1/3 innings, and they're down 6-2, and then he's supposed to be their big bat, and I'm sure like that probably eats at your pitching a little bit. He strikes out 3 times at the plate, so it's like you're relying on this guy big time, and it just like that's baseball. That happens sometimes.
They were saying Shohei, and I think they were trying to get the casuals to understand, like, hey, this guy's pitching and hitting.
Special.
Just like with Shohei, Babe Ruth, and I think in college baseball, I don't know enough about it.
Happens a lot more.
I would assume, okay, it does. But I think what you were most upset about is, like, whenever we in the football world going in the draft, this guy's the next Tom Brady. It's like,
Come on.
No, he's not.
okay, what, his body? Do we know his brain? Do we know if sitting at a dinner at a restaurant in Utah, the opposing team's head coach walks in, compliments him, asks if he could buy his dinner, and then continues to walk on, and that person is going to say that disrespectful motherfucker and go dominate after already being named the best player of all time? We have no idea. It's in between the earlobes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's in between the ears,
Right.
which is what makes people great. You see a lot of body shapes and body sizes be able to accomplish things that many other people can't. Why can that person do that and that person can't? Well, mentally, that's a fucking dog right there.
Yeah.
That person right there is an absolute dog. Competitive juices, stamina, everything that you could potentially need to be able to focus and become great on something is just a little bit different at these tops. So I think what you potentially got was a little bit offended. Like, okay, hey,
Yeah.
let's realize this guy's a sophomore in college.
Yeah, pump the
Different
brakes.
between the
Because
big
I was
leagues.
also I was also one of the guys when Ohtani was first doing it who was like, okay, well, he needs to continue to, like, coming in and doing it 1 year is insanely impressive, but if you're saying this guy's the best baseball player of all time, like, he needs to do it year after year after year, and he has. Like, he's fucking unbelievable. So now just
Not the dog on this kid.
No, not at
no.
all.
He just had a bad night.
No, not
He
at
had a
all.
bad night, and he'll never be Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
But doesn't need to be.
Exactly.
To be a great baseball player.
Right.
Absolutely. You can still get drafted number 1 and, like, he's going to hit in the MLB and he's going to field, and that's fine. But it's like, guess what? A guy who is Shohei Ohtani, like, he's not walking 6 guys in the College World Series. He's just not. He's just not. This guy is probably, and I could be wrong.
Feel a little negative right now the way we're talking about this.
Well, it's because it was just so overwhelming, and then you say something like that, and everyone else gets offended like he is Ohtani. He's not, which is fine. But I just felt I wanted to get that out there because, again, he's unbelievable. He'll probably win the Golden Spikes next year. But let's just, to your point about the Brady stuff, like, let's pump the brakes. Like, we got a guy who is an actual avatar, 1 in a billion type player. Like, every time someone else comes up and does something similar, we don't need to be like, well, this guy's the next Ohtani.
What were your thoughts on the College World Series there, Pac? Did you get to watch any of it?
Yeah, I did, man. It was a lot of action to me, like, and the games were like, the fans was really into it. When you're looking at baseball right now, besides the A's, Cincinnati, it's not really, the crowd is not really into it.
Hey, Cincinnati packed out the stadium 2 times here this past weekend against the
Sold
Braves.
out.
Hey, and they gave him a fucking game on the Friday night.
It's a hell of a show.
11-10?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ellie hits for the cycle?
Yep.
That's like if you paid for a ticket, what are you looking for? Well, I want to see action.
A lot of runs.
I want to see the guy that I just fell in love with a couple weeks ago.
Right.
I would like him to do something remarkable. It's like, oh, yeah, he hit the quickest cycle in the history of baseball. In the history of 19 games it took him or something like that.
Absurd.
Other people took like however many, 64 games or something. I forget the exact stats. So if you went to that game, what a treat.
Yeah,
what an absolute treat.
Seriously.
And then the next day the Braves beat them, and then next day somebody else beat them, then next day somebody else. Oh, no.
Yeah.
They're on 3 games.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's over.
Oh, we'll talk to A.J. Hawk in the next hour. Noted Cincinnati Reds fan. Also, Pac, I think he's kind of dabbled a little bit if they're having success.
Well, it depends who's going to the World Series, but yeah.
Braves
Yeah, I thought
and the
Braves
Reds.
guy.
I live in Cincinnati. Of course, I'm supporting the Reds. I love the Braves.
Of course.
So, like, I'm biased in that series, but I'm with those 2 teams.
Yeah, unless the Braves lose in the, in the NLCS, then
Well, I'm definitely
Lot of
not with the
baseball.
Pirates.
A lot of baseball. We've talked a lot of baseball. Somebody tried to call in yesterday and talk Pirates Marlins.
that was aggressive.
Can't do that. What are we
Bold.
doing? Even when we're bored about talking about something, we don't need you throwing in something worse. The phones are an additive. The 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-432-3663, 1-833-4-DADONE. We're looking for something.
Yeah.
Hey, we're looking for something.
That's right.
And when they deliver, it's awesome.
We need you. We're out there.
Yes.
Positive
Exactly.
energy.
We need something.
Yeah.
Especially right
Angry.
now.
Think about us just pulling in a stick from the bottom. It says Pirates, Marlins. We're like, you wasted our time. You broke our line, and you can't fucking do shit with this.
That's right.
Jesus.
Thank you. Hang up. See ya. That person thought it was going to be great. I should have listened to the take. Maybe you would have got a little bit better.
No, it was dog shit.
We'll talk to Jet Passon next hour. That'll be even more baseball talk. I can't wait to hear Jet's thoughts on college baseball because we've only heard him potentially talk about the majors.
Yeah.
He was on the college coverage. They had his ass sitting on a desk, suit and tie,
That's right.
hair coiffed perfectly. I mean, he was doing the whole thing. I'm excited to get his thoughts on what college baseball is. And also, that Golden Spikes Award winner, Dylan Cruz, he looks so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great style.
Is he in the majors like next week? When do I get to see him? When do I get to see him on TV playing for?
Hopefully next season.
Yeah, I was
Red
gonna say
Sox.
there's a chance he'll progress pretty quickly. They said he's been like the best player in college baseball for like the last 3 years. Just unbelievable hitter, good center fielder. So like he is a guy who you
He made an
think
awesome
would kind
catch
of.
last
Like,
night.
what
Yeah,
is
2
quick?
of them.
What is quick? What is quick, Ty? Because quick
Hey.
is like 5 years from
No,
now.
next year.
Oh,
Next
that's
year.
good call. Hey, that's a good call actually.
I heard he's going to be a
Baseball.
pirate if they can pay him enough.
No, it's the
The
Paul Skeens.
Paul Screws. Yeah.
Skeens.
They think they're
Him
going
too.
to go pitcher. Yeah.
What's that?
They might go with Cruz, but they think they're going to go pitcher.
Number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Take the Skeens. What are we even talking about, Pirates? We're back, right? Aren't we? Baseball was
Yeah.
a pitcher sport.
Yeah.
You got a 6'7" guy that throws fucking 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, though, if he's only there for 4 years and then he signs somewhere like the Yankees or the Red Sox.
What do you think Cruz is going to do? What are you even talking about?
That's
Fair
who-
point.
What is this? Is that a real thing?
Well, no, I saw one mock that had Skeens. I saw one that had Dylan Cruz.
I don't know baseball at all. If we're not getting the 6'7" fucking alien that throws the ball 100 yards. What are we? Is that not baseball? We'll talk to Jen in the next hour. I want to do a new segment actually.
Here we go.
Nick, please, handheld microphone. And we're on.
Here we go.
Let's go.
So I do feel like as we drift into these summer months and further away from football, with football still deep in the horizon, I think we forget some things about some players that maybe play in the NFL and how great they are. So welcome to a new segment called People Forget.
Okay.
A lot of conversation about Dalvin Cook going to the New York Jets, and I think it's warranted. And let me tell you why I think it's warranted. That backfield, if Dalvin Cook gets into it, and we're assuming this next person that we're about to showcase in People Forget is gonna be the top running back duo in the NFL by far. You put Aaron Rodgers at quarterback with weapons outside, they're gonna have to stack the box all game long. Oh, Dalvin needs a breather, no big deal. This fucking guy that we are about to show you, rookie out of Iowa State, 5'11", 220 pounds. Pretty basic size motherfucker, to be honest with you.
A little bit, yeah.
The way he plays is not basic at all. He has all of the tricks that you could potentially need. Here's week 2. How's he going to transition to the NFL? Let me tell you, breakthrough, break some tackles, get to the sideline, run. Dude's unbelievable. Now, the New York Jets had a lot of question marks, obviously.
Yep.
A lot of hurt offensive linemen, quarterbacks like 6 or 7 different ones. Yep. And in these highlights, just through the first 7 games, you'll see numerous quarterbacks giving him the ball. Here's week 4 against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the red zone. No big deal. Zach Wilson gives him the rock. Boom. He gets the edge, runs somebody over, gets to the pylon. How you doing? Keep it moving. Now, let's go to week 5. Week 5, shall we? Well, the guy can run, right? Can he catch? Can he be a weapon out of the backfield? Zach Wilson throws a completion. Crazy story. Even crazier story. The rookie running back out of Iowa can seemingly, Iowa State, sorry, in what city?
Ames.
And look at him. Get over me. Get off of me. Now, week 5, not only did he have 1 completion, which we're seeing here on a wheel route down the sideline, he ends up getting tackled. How about another one, huh? Just a little outright, how you doing? Hey, a little hezzy, stutter, drag him down to the 1. The man is a freak show. Let's go to week 6 now, shall we? Why not? Week 6, fake pitch, reverse, inside, cut back. How you doing? Damn. Keep it moving. Green Bay Packers. This is Breece Hall time. Watch this replay, and you can see the entire team chasing this 5'11", 220 Iowa State Cyclone in his rookie year. Yep. Now, week 7 comes up. This would actually be the game in which he tears his ACL in the second quarter. Ooh. What happens in the first quarter, though? Pitch, outside, see ya!
Damn.
Gone! Track, star! Pew, pew. This dude's phenomenal. He's ridiculous. And if Dalvin Cook is paired with him in the backfield, I think the whole world needs to be put on notice. Now, ACL injuries are different. How is his recovery going to be? Because his explosiveness, his elusiveness, his stride, his gait, everything about him is dependent upon him being healthy. But if he is, which science?
It's pretty good.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of,
certain parts.
There's like real debate right now about science as a whole, but science and recovery on an ACL, I think, is much better than it's ever been. I expect him to be all the way back, and I can't wait to watch him. And I think the reason why we wanted to do this is because I remember at the beginning of the season, Jets fucking stink at football.
Yeah.
That's right.
But they would cut into red zone or a highlight would pop on, and it was Breece Hall just fucking running. We got so used to it that we almost forgot that he was a fucking rookie and basically didn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. Shout out to Tone Diggs shaving himself over a mirror.
Yeah, right. Smart.
That's where that started. So if Breece Hall's back and they get Dalvin Cook as well, fucking good night, Irene. Good luck to the New York Jets fans keeping their composure with everything that is potentially on the horizon for them after sucking for like 50 years.
Yeah.
And that was people forget.
Do. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it too. Like, I think it's easy to kind of forget, but having Rodgers, like what he could potentially do this year. I mean, because not only did their offensive line stink last year, but like you said, it's like 1 week you got Joe Flacco, 1 week you got Zach Wilson, 1 week you got Strafolsky, like
Mike White.
Yeah, Mike White. You get a Hall of Fame quarterback back there with him. Like he could, if he's healthy, he could rush for 1,500 yards this year.
Well, good luck to all of them over there. Exciting times.
Very.
I think it's Dalvin Cook getting linked to the Jets is happening a lot more.
Dangerous. Every
single day. Tyler Conklin, former tight end of the Vikings, now on the Jets, was once locker mates with Dalvin Cook and said, like, I've talked to him, reach out to him, and yeah, there's definitely enough room in our universe for Dalvin Cook to join that backfield. We're just trying to win a championship. It's like they're well on their way. Maybe this man will know more about the situation of Dalvin Cook. Joining us now is the host of the weekly wrap-up, the Rap Sheet and Friends, us being friends, he being Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. Rap, looks like you're either going golfing or just got done golfing. You look good, pal. How's life?
Appreciate it. I am going golfing. I got Tom Pelissero and Mike Garafolo headed to my hood.
Okay.
I'm going to take them out, play some golf, and hope that no news breaks.
Oh, the insiders are penetrating a course near you. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear how it goes. Are they players? Are they sticks? Are you guys walking this thing?
I'm going to take a cart because I don't know if they're cut out for walking. You know, it's not. Of course. It's not for everyone. I think Pelissero hits it pretty good. They both hit it well, but a little erratic.
That
I
jacket,
had probably not
Pelissero.
as well, but,
Oh man,
So sick.
oh,
Did you
what do
see-
you guys think of that?
Well,
Certainly noticed it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he
So
just
cool.
brought it up.
Yeah.
I loved it.
He looked real. If he had a guitar on there too today,
Yeah.
it would have been like a full. You could have been real rock star. Real rock star, Tom
It was
Pelissero.
something. I mean, it was a lot. Like, I definitely noticed it as well. Would I add it to my ensemble? I'm not so sure that I would.
Yeah, if you
Some
got
of us
free
need a
drinks
little
with
more
it,
help.
you would. But
Yeah,
that's
for
neither
sure.
here nor there. Let's move along. Hope the 7 weeks without the kids is going well. Let's talk about what's going on in New York. I just laid out, Brees Hall's highlights from the first 7 weeks in which he tore his ACL in the second quarter of that game.
Yeah.
Already had a touchdown, like 71 yards. His stats, actually, we had them written out here.
80 carries.
I forget what it was.
80
Like,
carries,
I
468
have it.
yards.
Dude, he's
5.8 a carry, 4 touchdowns.
7 games, 463 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 19 catches, 218 receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns.
He's fucking really, really good. Now, we're just assuming
Really good.
he's going to be the same whenever he comes back from this ACL injury because it's 2023, even though we've seen others kind of hobbled a little bit. And that's why the Dalvin Cook conversation is so interesting, because if they could gel and mend there, that'd be a great tag team, especially down the
Yeah.
stretch whenever games matter. You're just kind of got freshness, greatness kind of coming and going with Aaron Rodgers and hopefully a healthier offensive line. What are you hearing about Dalvin Cook, and do you think the Jets' reality is in actuality?
I think it's possible. Like, it's not the kind of thing where I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I think it's going to be a thing. I think it's now. I'm not saying he's going to sign there, but if you're asking me, do I think that the Jets will at least be in the mix? Like, I would imagine they would be. The Brees Hall thing is so fascinating to me. The only one I can sort of compare this to, like last year, he was on his way to being Rookie of the Year. Now, they had the Rookie of the Year, but he was on his way to being Rookie of the Year before Garrett Wilson ended up taking it. He was awesome. Like, one of the best running backs in football. Looks like a future megastar. It kind of reminded me of when Deshaun Watson tore his ACL after that, like, epic 6 or 7 game stretch. You remember that? Like, early. I think it was his rookie year, actually.
Maybe
Right?
not.
And I was like,
It's hard to remember a lot from Houston with Deshaun, other than
Yeah.
that one. Well,
all
lot.
injuries.
yeah,
It's hard not
Now,
to.
there's-
yeah.
It's going to take some
know.
time
I know.
because that was
you're
real.
right.
Yeah,
It was.
might
Wasn't
not
it?
take some
Oh, yeah.
time either.
That was crazy that came out of nowhere.
And it was kind of just like one after another after another.
But
after
it,
another.
but it all kind of came at the same time.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
practicing.
Yeah, because he
In
wanted
practice
traded.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was still there.
I want out of
Yeah.
here.
But not actually.
And then
there.
Trade request first, yeah. Oh, that was a long, not good chapter. But anyway, yes.
You don't say.
Brees Hall's injury was like, all injuries suck, but I think this is one for me that was like extra sad because he was so good. So, like, I think he's going to be ready around the start of the season. Would I guarantee he's going to play week 1? Like, I don't know that. Nobody knows. But I think the best thing would be he doesn't have to. And that's why I think the Dalvin Cook signing actually would make a lot of sense. Now, I don't think the Jets are going to be the highest bidder. If they are a bidder, I don't think they'll be the highest. There'll probably be others. But it makes a lot of sense. So, like, yeah, I think this could be really interesting.
So is it just understood now that the Jets have become a ring-chasing paradise almost, where you said they won't be the biggest offer? That kind of happens. Like in Tampa Bay it happened, Kansas City it happens.
But-
Yeah.
Anywhere anybody goes to ring chase, they understand that there's a price. You're getting taxed for a chance to potentially go and get one for your legacy. Is it just kind of become understood that that has happened? And what a time for Jets fans. They have to be so fucking pumped.
First of all, yes. And it does a little bit to me feel like the first year in Tampa. Remember, there was all this talk about like, oh, is Brady going to get the band back together? Is he going to get Gronk? And everyone was like, yeah, sure. And then it all happened exactly like everyone talked about basically. Gronk forced himself to get traded, came out of retirement.
AB.
Everybody wanted to sign in Tampa for a little less money. I mean, yeah, I could see the Jets being like that because they look like a team whose championship window, like, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it is open. Like, this is a team that looks like, to me, they're going to be competing for all of it. So might you, if you're a veteran, take a little less to go play for a ring, like, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
AFC is a tough spot now, but hopefully they'll be able to figure it out. They got all the pieces that you could potentially need, including a championship defense, which is the most, I don't want to say the most valuable part, but towards the end of the year, feels like there's a lot of good offenses. Now, Patrick Mahomes always a unicorn. Joey Burrow, obviously. But if you're going to get there to the end, your defense has to be worth a fuck. And it feels like the Jets' defense is certainly that and capable. Tone has a question for you, Rap.
Yeah, Ian, what about the other running backs? I mean, we haven't talked about it all, but Kareem Hunt's still out there. Obviously, we have talked about Zeke being out there. I was surprised because I thought like the last few years, Kareem Hunt's still been a good running back. Is there anything about him out there?
Yeah, I was a little surprised about that market too. I think the main problem is once you get past the top tier, free agent running backs like the Miles Sanders who got, I believe it was $6 a year, the price comes down a lot. So like, what is Zeke going to get? What is Kareem Hunt going to get? I don't know, but my guess is in the 2s or 3s. So if you're one of those guys, do you rush to sign now or do you say, I can get that in training camp, maybe I'll do that or I'll just wait? I think the existence of, Kareem Hunt is a good example. Like he could go to a team, probably rush for 700 yards right now and probably not cost that much money. Those kinds of guys, because they're so good and probably not that expensive, actually hurt the case of Dalvin Cook. Because you're like, okay, Dalvin is really, really, really good. He could cost, let's just say $7 million. Well, Kareem Hunt's also really good, but he's going to cost less. Like those guys really hurt the market for the top shelf running backs like Dalvin Cook.
Interesting. D-Hop's still out there too. A lot of big names. And when should we expect any of it?
Okay, so I would say camp starts on like the 25th or something like that for most teams, right? 24th, 25th of July. Like I would think in the week before that, probably after the franchise tag deadline, which is July 17th. I think in that week you'll probably start to see some of these signings trickle in, and then it's like, and you'll get signings, and then you'll get extensions.
Boys, can we move that up a little bit?
Yeah, come on. Boys, tomorrow.
I think we're going to be off.
Hold on. Are you guys working all through the summer? Like I'm going away. Like you guys are going to be working?
We're taking a couple weeks. Thank you, Ian, for rubbing in our face that you're going to go, live your life. Your kids are in Fiji.
Enjoy it.
And we're happy for you, Ian. Hey, way to go, Ian. You've earned it, Ian. You've earned it, Ian.
Congrats,
way to go, dude. Way to go. We're going to take some time off. In the time you were describing when all this stuff is going to happen is seemingly when we're probably not going to be. But all the other time, when there's nothing happening, we're on.
We'll be here.
Boys, come on. For the good of everybody, let's move that up a little bit.
Just sign.
Every year there's like one thing that happens in the summer. So I hope for your sake that you get something, a contract extension. Even if I hope it's not something bad, but there's always some discipline that's announced.
There's going to be some litigation that I do not want to talk about.
That's exactly.
There's going to be somebody that does something. Let's not do that either, too, boys. Let's sign deals.
I agree.
Let's not break laws.
Let's
do that.
Let's go.
Let's not break laws. Let's sign deals.
We already had it with Jack Jones, so we've got one of those knocked off already.
Yeah, but that was a pre-summer. Things are going to now. The message hasn't been out there yet.
Okay.
Let's sign deals, not break laws.
Out there now.
Okay, good. Pac-Man has a question for you, Rap.
Rap, everybody's talking about Jets, but have you heard anything with Cook going to the Cowboys?
I haven't. I think if the Cowboys are going to pay for a running back, I think it's going to be Tony Pollard. He's signed the franchise, so there's 4 guys who are
everything.
What?
What just happened?
I was checking the board.
Oh, you got a board? You got can we see it?
No, you can't see it. It's the handwriting's bad. Got notes on it. No.
Show us the
there's
board.
Come on.
Cowboys need a running back.
Was it state secrets on
Who
there?
cares?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be like the when they show inside the draft room.
What do you have, show writing? This is my personal writing style. What do you? You have show writing?
I don't have good handwriting. I don't believe in.
Who cares?
Show us the handwriting.
Who cares?
Come on.
There's people that write with crayons nowadays. I mean, you don't even have to because
You got sources'
technology.
names on that board or something?
Oh, you got fake stories on there.
It's a good board. I'm telling you, it's a complete board.
Oh no!
Drew dirty pictures for motivation.
Got dongs on there?
Yeah, and boobs.
No. None.
A lot of meat. It's a professional board, huh? Is it dry erase?
Yeah, dry erase. And then what happens is, this is actually one of my favorite things. Let's say something that has been long-standing, like the Lamar Jackson contract, right? I came back from the draft. I'd been gone in wherever I was, Kansas City for a week. Literally the first thing I did, say hello to my family, walk downstairs, go to the board, erase Lamar Jackson from the board.
Oh, so it's like a checklist type thing. You feel real good about it. Let me hunt Don E stories. You're like Dog the Bounty Hunter when he's laying it out with Leland.
Yeah.
And everybody about the price tags on there. Excited for that. But to the Cowboys, I didn't know that. Is that you hoping, wishing, or what was that?
Oh, no, it was just a question.
I mean, why not?
That'd be cool.
Hey, be the Cowboys. Do something sweet. Here's another question.
What's going on?
Sorry, I'm good.
Middle of summer. You got news?
Yeah.
You tell us. We good?
Tea time update?
Tea time update.
Of course.
Pelissero says he's not bringing a jacket?
No, they're like, it's raining. Like, is it raining here? I'm like, I'm in my basement.
We saw rainy ruining my golfing.
Yeah.
You know what?
I got
rainy ruining my golfing. It's raining. That's what
Put
you
on
did.
Some rain gloves and let's go.
Rain gloves?
Yeah, but didn't you say?
Yeah, rain gloves.
That was your IG story, wasn't it? Rain ruining my golf. You know what you said?
Yes. No, but that was lightning. I'll play through rain. When they force us to go off the course with lightning, then I get very grumpy.
Oh.
I don't like weather.
You don't like weather as a whole?
Yeah, it's very annoying. The meteorologist, I have an app that's literally wrong all the time.
Well, there's a reason for that. And that's because this man right here passed away. It's Joe Nardo. He founded a Doppler.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Miss you,
Rest in peace, Joe. Rest in peace. They were going to call it the Denard Doppler, but they just called it the Doppler for short.
He didn't want
the credit.
Yeah, he's a Pittsburgh legend. This guy never was wrong. This guy was never wrong.
100% hit rate.
It was unbelievable. In Pittsburgh, too, it's not easy.
Skillful.
More rain days in Seattle. Connor has a question for you about something that's very real, especially in the state of the world with where sports gambling is, script conversation is, and everything with the NFL. Go ahead, Connor.
Crapshoot, why the hell am I reading a list of what jobs NFL referees have? Because they should have one job. It should be refereeing the game, but yet here we are sitting around talking about some ref selling used Honda Civics to some bum who doesn't even need a car, but instead should be at training camps and maybe getting better at his game.
Yeah, this is an interesting question. And every year this kind of comes up around the time of the league meetings, like when are the refs going to be full-time?
Rap.
Yeah. And I would say this. There are a lot of reasons to advocate for refs being full-time. I mean, you'd think that, it would be better. That would be one. Ooh. But also, like, let's say a ref was a full-time ref. Then instead of, like, a retired ref at training camp, you would have real refs. And real refs would go to different training camps, and they would get real live reps. They would get real live game action in, like, scrimmages or joint practices or whatever. There's a lot of reasons for that. I think the reasons against is some refs like their jobs.
Fuck them. You're not supposed to be in the NFL then.
Fire.
Right. See ya. Sorry about it.
Get out.
See ya.
You'd have a lot of turnover,
Privilege.
and it might take a little while to like build the.
Yeah, but you build it up if they're full time, right? You got camps.
That's right.
You got a home base probably. You got seminars.
Believe me, like I think there are definitely some reasons why this would really help.
Former players
it hasn't got there as fast as I thought it would. I'll say that.
If you pay pretty good, as you should, third team on the field, as Steratore said, it makes Steratore the head fucking coach.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, it's make them their own team. But and then you can pull, if somebody fucks up, cool, you're on the bench.
Yep.
We can pull from somebody that has been training. Like, I don't know how they even thought about, you can market this. I mean, this is a marketable thing. And then you can make that a pipeline. Former players right in there, internships.
Yeah.
If you pay.
I could see some former players wanting, I mean, that'd be like a great post-career job.
Yeah, if you're paying six figures,
right,
and it's football, and guys are in shape and know the game, and there's actually like a pipeline to move up.
Same way the team have it.
Boom. Why not? Especially with all the script conversation. In sports gambling, it's like, we should not be hearing about a car salesman NFL ref.
No way.
Like, I should not know that.
No.
So when that fucking guy who works for commission, I just learned, does something, it's hard not to just be like, that guy take the payday, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
That guy
doesn't care.
It's hard for me to do that. And it's like, I shouldn't do that. But if I'm losing because a call went one way or another, my own personal money, $5, $20, $100, $1,000, whatever, you're going to automatically, it wasn't me. It was
bullshit.
Now, I hope with the involvement of New York, like there's obviously a lot more oversight from the New York office than I think there has been. So hope that none of that, I mean, I don't get the sense any of that's happening. I understand what you're saying, but I don't get the sense any of that's happening. But you should not be able to think that.
Yeah, that's what that just feeds the, you know what I mean? It just, feeds a narrative that none of us want. You talk about like players gambling on the NFL, fucking the Shield.
Bad.
Very bad. Can't have it.
Right.
Equally important, refs aren't fucking the Shield.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that, you can't feed that. You know what I mean? Like that's the integrity of the game. That's all we got. And there's going to be trillions of dollars involved in sports gambling.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like everybody knows where it's going. Let's just make it as good as possible. Hey, this number is going to be, even if you got to pay a little bit here.
Simple fix.
For these refs, you're investing. That's all, because this money that's going to be here is going to be big. They're good enough business people over there to understand that. I don't know why they're dragging their feet on this whole thing. Let's move on. We could yell about this in the middle of June for literally 4 hours if we wanted to. Ty has a question for you, Rap.
Yeah, Rap Sheet, there was a report that came out that the Browns and a handful of other teams are also interested in D-Hop. Have you heard that? Are there multiple teams that are going to kind of come to the forefront here, or is it still kind of just, hey, he's deciding between the Patriots and the Titans offers?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the Browns thing, and I think it was like they were lurking or something. Like I thought it was very cool that Deshaun Watson kind of came out and was like, yeah, I'd love to play with him. I never really got the sense the Browns were in it. To me, barring some sort of injury or some team realizing they have money they didn't previously have, my guess is those two teams that he visited are probably the two that he's considering, right? I mean, Titans and Patriots, I think both those teams would certainly make some sense.
Yeah.
Probably been a little more smoke toward the Patriots.
Whoa.
Okay.
What was the smoke? The plane that Bill Belichick booked for him to go up there?
Yeah, the one-on-one.
Travel agent.
Oh, they're doing, what's that?
That was a pretty big deal.
They're doing chemtrails to get him up there? That's the smoke? What are you talking about?
I just say the feel. I think the Patriots are very much in it. We'll see what they end up doing if something happens as we get closer to camp. But like the interest does seem to be from both sides there. Now there's, I would be surprised if he signed from now right until the start of training camp.
God damn it.
So and any team could jump in and be like, all right, these receivers that we thought were going to contribute are not contributing, so we now need this guy. That's kind of his ace in the hole. But otherwise, like I think it'd be a decision probably those two teams before camp.
Remember, we only got 20 days until the franchise tags have to be signed.
That's it.
That's it.
Not a long time.
Only 20 days. Let's make sure we follow it every single day. Good luck out on the golf course with the insiders. Make sure that rainy doesn't affect your golfy. You know what
rain gloves. I got rain gloves for me, and I got one extra set in case one of those guys need them. So.
Everybody has the same size hands over there, huh?
I mean, I assume hands. Report insider hand size should be all around the same. I feel like.
Well, just in my head, I was thinking of as soon as you said you have an extra pair, you and I being on a golf course, it's starting to rain, and you going, I got an extra pair of gloves, and me going, one of the most disrespectful things you've ever said to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of offensive that you're saying this now. You assuming that my hands will be smaller than yours?
Vastly. Yeah.
Are smaller hands better for texting or like for tweeting?
I don't know. I don't know if you can. You probably can't get the full XL phone, because the thumb has that.
Yeah.
Then you got.
You got the medium, mid-size one.
Mid-size. Yeah, I don't have like the one that looks like an iPad.
Yeah,
I don't like to carry it around like this.
Yeah. Also, used to be in a profession where there's like gloves.
Right.
So you can like.
No, they do have golf
and
gloves.
you
that
got
can
my size.
text on,
This guy's 6'3".
and they are bad.
And
This
you got
guy's
my size. In.
Yeah, this guy.
You got my size.
Yeah, this guy's hand's actually gigantic. His middle finger actually reaches up to Scott.
4 feet tall.
Yeah. His reach is that of an 8 foot tall man. Anyways, Rap, good luck out on the golf course.
Appreciate it.
We learned a lot about Garofalo's and Pelissero's size.
Yep.
Interesting.
There in that just kind of situation. And how are the boys? You haven't heard from them, huh?
We got a couple pictures. They uploaded a couple pictures on the app, and they're smiling in the pictures, doing various activities. So very, very good sign so far.
Fucking smile.
What the hell?
It's not like that, right?
What's that?
Fucking smile.
Yeah.
Smile.
No.
Okay.
Heavyweights.
Every
proof of
smile
life
is
photo.
very genuine.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta zoom in on your eyes. You know what I mean? You gotta zoom in on your eyes.
Tell a story.
Yeah. Like there's a lot between the behind the eyes.
Yeah, got you. Enjoy the golf. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. So Brees Hall might not be ready by week 1 is what I just heard.
Yeah.
He said that a couple different times. That's why the Dalvin Cook thing makes sense. I do wonder what week he'll be back because as we were going through his highlights, he was fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
The NFL missed him last year.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's kind of like that rookie thing where they kind of, I don't want to say they held him back early, but they gave him so many, what was it, week 4, 5, and 6, he had like 17, 18 carries each game. I could be.
Yeah, 17, 18, 20.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like if he wasn't getting as many carries, and then he fucking just started popping off, and obviously the long touchdown in the last game, he was getting rolling.
Yeah.
It stinks.
Hell of a player.
And they're going to need him. Like, the start of every AFC East team to the season is murderer's row. Like, they need to get off to a good start. I think Lombardi has said before, like, the Super Bowl teams typically start hot, end hot. They might go through a little rut in the middle. But I think, first 5 or 6 weeks is
what do you
tough.
say? People always say, like, the beginning of the season doesn't matter. It does. It does.
Yeah.
Like, if you look back at the teams that end up winning it, normally pretty good football team at the beginning. Now, they're going to get better, but everybody says you start terrible, you can go win it. More of a pipe dream than anything else.
And Aaron Rodgers plays his best football when he got a running game. Like, when he have a running game and he can play action.
He doesn't care either. He will hand that fucker off.
He will.
Like, everybody talks about Jimmy G and how he only had 6 passing attempts. Yeah. If the Green Bay Packers were to ever play in a game in the past and they were to have 180 yards of rushing before contact, Aaron Rodgers would have handed that ball off every single fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, every time would have been, like, perfectly executed. There would have been some sort of shit.
Carrying out the boot afterwards.
Yeah, there would have been some sort of, I'm doing something today.
Yeah.
You know, like a pitch would have been, there'd be like a filthy, but he is not scared to have 15 pass attempts in a fucking game. No. If it's working, we are good. I think that is something that doesn't get talked about with the mushroom, ayahuasca, psilocybin conversation. It's like, this dude is not like, I need to throw the ball 50 times a fucking game type player at all. So with 2 good running backs in the back, he's going to be, I think, oh man, they could do it.
Oh, yeah.
The AFC very tough.
Absolutely.
Well, he even said last year, like multiple times on the show when they were going through their rut, he was like, hey, we need to get Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon involved more. Like, we need to run the ball more. Like, the receivers are young guys. They're not quite where they need to be yet. Like, we can't win games with me throwing 35 to 40 times. We have a very good stable of backs that we need to get involved into the offense more. And then once they started to do that, that's like when they kind of started to turn things around, because then he could throw it 20 times and they'd have 2 play action bombs where he'd throw, a touch, like a long touchdown, or they'd get a big chunk play. Like, yeah, for whatever reason, people think that he wants to be out there throwing 45 to 50 times a game. And that's just never been who he is throughout his entire career.
At all. It's almost a knock on him because the passing yards that he'll have versus like other people's passing yards, it's like never.
He's never thrown for over 5,000 yards.
Ever, yeah. How'd this guy win the MVP over this guy? Like, look at the attempts, look at the turnovers, look at the
48
completion percentage.
48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Yeah. It's like this dude, I don't think he's scared to your point about play action. Like, he'll methodically just beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
And he'll feel good that he's outsmarting you. Like, he is completely okay outsmarting you in his sense. That's how he probably sells it to himself. We're winning, we're beating them, we're outsmarting them. That's a dub. As opposed to some people who just, I know what Kellen wants to do. Kellen wants to light up the scoreboard.
Yeah.
That's what Mike McCarthy said about the offense coordinator, Kellen Moore, who's now with the Chargers. He's looking for a head coaching job. So he wants his quarterback to have stupid yards, stupid everything. Offense coordinators aren't the only people that think like that. Quarterbacks think like that as well because they know I'll get paid if I have a shit ton of stats. So it's a fine balance. It's an interesting balance. And I think if they got 2 dogs in the back, he would not be scared to just give them the fucking ball if it's working. If it's not working now,
different story.
But it's going to work because they're going to have to, he want the box to be filled. He want 8 people in the box. If you give Aaron Rodgers 8 people in the box, he is not going to miss a motherfucker, and it's going to be right on him. So it's going to be either he catch it or the receiver just ain't catching the ball. But the goal is to get him to put 8 in the box. And every time he's had a good running game where you have to pack the box, he exploits it.
Yeah, or the opposite, too. Like, do you remember the Lions-Packers game where you went on, I think it was 2 years ago, you were actually on the Manning cast, and there was kind of like a boring game, people were saying on the internet, just because the Lions wouldn't do that. They wouldn't pack the ball.
Waiting, and then one time.
One single time they didn't double Devontae Adams all the way down the field, blew the game open.
It was awesome because the Manning cast, Peyton and Eli were both like, oh, he's just waiting. He's just
taking what they're giving.
They were like explaining to us what was going through.
I would have never knew that either. That's why that Manning cast really is awesome. I love watching those guys.
As soon as they saw it before the snap, they're like, oh, got Devontae. And then next thing,
touchdown.
Right on top.
That was awesome.
As a defensive player, you know it because you look back at the coach like, why in the hell are we not doubling this guy?
Yeah, they did for It seemed like 99% of the play.
It was all in the
minutes.
first half the whole time, and then in the second or the end of the second quarter, one time single coverage.
I forgot all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That Manning thing was fantastic
Mm-hmm.
for that, though. Because I think Eli started to break down, then Peyton broke it down. And then I think we got a heads up, like, hey, it's about to happen.
He's not
Yeah, he
double.
did.
Yeah.
He's not double.
Right now, it's about to happen. And then literally right in front of us, it was like, shot, how you doing, keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that type of shit.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're at that stage of the NFL where people want to learn more about it. You know, obviously we're introducing to a new crowd. In Germany, ticket sales this morning, there's 1.5 million people in the queue trying to buy the tickets to the Chiefs and the Dolphins game over in Frankfurt, I do believe. 1.3 million was this photo. I had tweets and people telling me, now, their English was spotty, but they were telling me 1.5 million people in the queue. This comes after last year. It was like 660-some thousand were in the queue. And obviously we know that these European games are not just people from the country in which the game is. You know, when the game was in London, there was people traveling from Germany, from France, from Belgium, all the way in. It was like a celebration of American sports. Always sold out, always was fantastic. London, I think there's some real and incredible NFL fans there. But I think it did take a village, basically, to go ahead and make it as big as it was and what it felt like from the entire Europe. A lot of military based over there, a lot of that type of shit. Germany, they fucking love the NFL.
Yes.
I think, not that London doesn't. I know there's a lot of people that do. So please do not take it that way. But this Germany shit, these numbers that we've seen, unless they're all fake, and I don't know how you would fake that many people in the queue, but this is like Taylor Swift shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is rock star stuff coming into Germany. And obviously we know there's a lot of military bases and everything like that. But if you think about Bjorn Werner in that football bromance show, they're selling out fucking arenas.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking German, talking about football. What incredible growth of the game, of the sport. And shout out to Germany. I mean, Guten Tag. That is an incredible community to have alongside the rest of the world.
Yeah, they sold out in 15 minutes, and I think you hit the nail on the head. I think with London and England, it is more of like the just American sports in general and like enjoying that because like they just had a baseball series over there this past weekend and it was the biggest, the most attended.
A taste of home for people.
Exactly.
A taste of America.
And, yeah, exactly. People who are just kind of looking for something to do, but it does really feel like in Germany, like they legit love the NFL. And I think the football bromance, like I would assume that has something to do with it. You know, you actually have someone who played in the NFL, but you can't get that many people invested in a game if it's just like, oh, we'll go check this out. Like you have to be a diehard fan to sit in queue for, hours to get a ticket.
I assume Bjorn and them, and I'm trying to think the other guys.
Sebastian Vollmer? Does it do it with Vollmer?
I don't know if he's on. Yeah, maybe he's on. I don't know. They have a crew there. I apologize for not getting everybody's names. It's really well done. I would assume they certainly help. Yeah. But they're at the stage of having an NFL podcast.
Yes.
Right.
Sell out arenas.
Exactly.
Like that's a big stage of fan development.
Yeah.
Like, having a podcast, okay, everybody has a podcast. To get to a point where it's big enough, the topic that they're talking about has to be gigantic.
Huge.
So shout out to Germany. That is great. And Roger Goodell saw that this morning. He was like, more people tweet about it. More. Yeah. 9. Don't stop it.
How much do you think NFL Europe has to do with that?
I don't know. You're right, because they had the
Probably
Rhine Fire, the Berlin something.
And it did well, right?
Yeah, I think they had like multiple teams in Germany, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to run. Did Frankfurt have a team as well?
Maybe.
Fucking A, dude. That's huge.
I assume one of these four teams, too, that's playing, Colts, Patriots, Dolphins, and Chiefs, are going to do what, like, the Jags might do, or where the Jags are over in London for 2 weeks. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't have one of those four teams, depending on if the Chiefs travel, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Colts, whoever travels the best. Why wouldn't they just have another game next year and just have a team go for 2 weeks?
There has to be good business to be done over there. They got 1.5 million. Even in the off season, put on some camps. I mean, there has to be some real stuff you could do over there. We should do some sort of something over there. Obviously, we've thought about that the last couple of years, but making something happen like that in the middle of the season is absolutely bananas to actually accomplish, without a hitch. But we got to get over there.
The timing in the season, too.
Yeah, they got a lot of soccer players, though, like easy kicking punting camp over there, isn't it?
Yeah. You would think.
Isn't it?
Definitely soccer.
I mean, that's an easy thing we could do over there. And then I got to play Bjorn and ping pong.
Exactly.
Right.
And at a theater.
Could always do something.
They all are good at ping pong over there, though. We need to know that.
Is it like a national sport?
I don't know. I think it's like I think it's a classic, like dad, parent, kid.
Everyone has a table.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the. I think so. Everybody in Germany that I've encountered, and I'm assuming there's some Germans out there like not me, whatever you ran this. Every German associated human that I've run into can play ping pong. Okay. Is a solid ping pong player. Were you a ping pong guy in the locker room?
Yeah, I'm all right, but I wasn't the best.
How do you hold the paddle? How do you hold the paddle?
I can hold it both ways.
What do you mean?
Down. I can play. I'm decent. Real decent.
Same way he holds the Thunderbolt paddle.
Oh, yeah. But you put thumb on back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put thumb on back?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, I'm excited. Ping pong is a great locker room sport.
Great game.
Kickers are always the best, though, because y'all sitting in there playing hours and hours.
And also, we're freak athletes.
Of course.
Yep.
All that type of stuff.
One motion.
Hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, I'm a pretty good little ping pong player. I mean, Bjorn Werner, though, he fucking cooked me first time I played. I was a little arrogant. I was a little bit too confident. Welcome to my table. Welcome to America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We drafted you the first round. Cool. Welcome to the team. Good luck. He cooked my fucking ass. I mean, it was really impressive.
Was that the first time playing a German-born player?
No, because yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was my first time. And then you learn, like, Andrew Luck had like one of the nicest ping pong tables in the world in his house. He grew up in Germany, you know what I mean? And then you hear about other kids over there. Like, I think they play ping pong over there.
Okay.
Bjorn knows what happened afterwards, though.
What was that?
I got that fucking Forrest Gump machine. I actually
Spitting
bought
out
the
balls.
machine that I still have it. That had you.
Andy had one of them things.
Who?
Spit the ball out.
Yeah.
Hit it back.
Training.
Yeah.
Yes. It has top spin, back spin. Yeah, I stayed up till like 5 a.m. one fucking night, just out together. Top 5 in all of. Yeah, they're the first non-Asian country.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to ping pong, China, South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Germany. Yeah, so I assume every fucking kid has one.
Yeah.
They're very good. Need to know that. Don't be fucking around if a German walks into a ping pong place and just think you're going to be able to.
Yeah, no.
Hi, guten Tag.
It's a hustle.
You know, he
Yeah.
or she is coming to cook you. Speaking of, just got back in the Oculus because I saw Nick Saban in there.
Yep.
Nick Saban is on a run of awesome right now.
Yeah.
Crushing.
We all know what happened at the national championship when Nick Saban was on College Game Day and he was giving incredible takes and thoughts. It was an honor to sit next to him, to be honest. He's a West Virginia fuck. People got to remember. From West Virginia. Is been there, done that with everything. Greatest college football coach of all time. And the way he handled himself on game, they didn't even have a place for him to stand off the game day set with where our set was. As Georgia fans and TCU fans are coming into the stadium, Nick Saban's standing there, okay? There's people saying some shit to Nick Saban.
I can imagine.
And he's just sitting there, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Inside, I bet, all right.
Remembering that.
All right. And then he comes up on the stage, classy, intelligent, insightful, fucking loved everything about it. Then Georgia goes on to win. Then Pollock, obviously, afterwards. Georgia Bulldog, one of the greatest Georgia Bulldogs of all time. Absolute dog who got injured early in his NFL career, so nobody got to really see him as a Cincinnati Bengal. But as a Georgia Bulldog, beloved, absolute animal. He says, yeah, this is Kirby Smart's era, right in front of Saban. And David Pollock is just talking facts.
Yeah.
He's just talking about matter of fact, this
Back
is how
to back.
this. Nick Saban is right there, though. People zoomed in on Saban, his face was just. You know, he was upset about it. And all hell was about to break loose down there. This offseason, all I've seen is fucking awesome Nick Saban.
Yeah.
He's in the virtual reality Oculus fucking boxing people.
Crushing.
This is from his daughter. Not a bad little combo there. Now, guy kind of got on top of him, kind of startled him a little bit, but he's like, yeah, all right.
Jab.
Bitch. All right. Boom. I assume he knocked this guy out. He's Nick Saban.
Oh, yeah.
So then we see another video coming out of the house. This guy's doing the electric slide in his fucking living room, dude.
Hey.
Got the play. Hey.
Living.
It's electric.
Damn good at it, too.
He is.
Yeah. Smooth.
That motherfucker's done the electric slide
that
before.
rhythm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, for those of us that know the electric slide but don't know how to do a lot of the square dancing and stuff like that, as a guy who's been in the saloon when Copperhead Road came on, it is the electric slide with an extra... And then you just go ahead and go right into the electric slide. That's just one of the dances. There was 5 of them, but I'll tell you what, when they're I was at altitude and a little boozed up.
What?
As I was starting to catch the rhythm of oh my God, that's an electric slide. They're doing an electric slide right now with an extra kick. Foxy, let's go. And we go out there, we catch on.
It's exactly what you said.
Music changes. Next song, though, I don't have a playbook.
Yeah.
I did not. They were not doing the electric slide. I mean, I was getting, I got bounced out of there.
Yeah.
But Saban crushes it. And now we got a 5-star wide receiver recruit who is committed to Alabama, asked a question about whether or not, the longevity of Saban staying at Alabama was ever a thought or a question mark. And this was the answer old Cuzzy gave, who I could not find his name in any of the searches.
I think he's the #1 receiver in his class.
I would like to let him know. Caption, searches, everything. Could not find his fucking name. Great hair, seems to be a dog. Gave this answer when he was talking about Nick Saban and coaching longevity.
I know a lot of schools try to recruit against Alabama by saying Nick Saban's getting older, he's going to retire. You're a 25 guy, and it's a couple of years off. What does he say to you about that?
He said, well, we've talked about that, of course, but he said he's going to be coaching until he croaks over. I think we got some time.
Okay, I think we got some time. Hey, does he look like he's going to die? No, he's electric sliding and boxing people.
Right.
Bingo.
You think he's anywhere close to dying? Absolutely not. He'll be around. I could see how other coaches would try to use that against him. Ryan Williams out of Saraland, Alabama. He's definitely going to Alabama.
Yep.
Ryan Williams. So I like and appreciate that question. But other coaches are certainly saying that. You don't want to go there. The guy's going to retire. He's going to be on TV. You see how good he was on game day? Yeah. He's going to be on TV. He's already been the greatest. We're trying to build to that. You want to come with us. But I don't think Saban's going to ever give it up. He's unbelievable. Their team's great. He probably wants to win another 5 national championships before he's done. I fucking love this dude. Massive fan of old Saban.
Yeah, Saban is not going nowhere. You can tell he enjoyed coaching the game. Some coaches, when they get to a pivotal point where they done made whatever the accolades are, won all the championships, this guy loved developing and loved winning. So I don't see him going. You're probably going to have to pull him out of there. He's not one of those guys. I don't think this is going to be like, all right, I'm done with this.
I hope someone does when it's time because, there's college coaches who someone didn't pull them off the field and they end up pooping their pants.
Yeah. Wearing khakis.
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Joe Palmer's all the time. Well, there's a couple things that ruined
Joe
his
Paterno
stuff,
pooped in his pants on the field.
Which happens a lot.
And they were khakis. And we seen it.
Yeah.
And he had those cleats on.
Yep.
They always had. And I think it made it even worse as he was running because it was just.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Dripping
mean?
down to his socks. Yep.
'Cause we don't know what he ate, but some people smelled it.
Yeah.
And they said it was terrible, but you're right, Tone. There are people that just need to know when the time is the time.
Yeah. Got to be dangerous running into the bathroom, too, with those cleats on, too, if that floor's wet.
Especially the tile floor.
How come they always say that this shit is non-slip? Did you ever hear this? The Indianapolis Colts added this in when they redid the entire locker room. They had the shower area, the bathroom, and it was like a hard floor.
Nice.
And everybody was like, hey, we shower. This gets wet. Like, we're all going to slip. This is non-slip, hard floor.
Okay.
I was like, they make that? They're like, yep, that's what this is. It was not.
It's not.
Anything that's hard that gets wet.
Yeah, there's a chance you're going to slip.
Is going to be slick. I've never felt more lied to in my life than when that person said that. This is non-slip? Yeah, so when this gets wet, nobody's going to slip?
No.
No.
chance.
I think it was like 2 days later, guy comes out of the fucking shower. Boom.
Breaks his back.
He takes a big bump. You know what I mean? Bang, down there. Probably got up. I mean, there's absolute beasts in the NFL. You're talking about freak shows, but immediately afterwards, there was 50 fucking rubber things down.
Of course.
An absolute lie. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. But to your point, I don't know if they had carpeting to his shitter, because they knew he never takes those cleats off.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Maybe turf. They might have had fucking actual grass. Like, when Ray Lewis would come out and he'd have actual grass? They would take actual Happy Valley grass and line the floor with it so that Joe Pa could feel the grass of the stadium while he's shitting in his brand new cleats.
Oh, was there even a toilet in there at that point?
I was going to say, did it matter? Because I'm pretty sure he was just going in and changing his depends.
So that is something. They have those diaper rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he sits on
Do you
them.
think somebody...
Yeah, put him up on the table, change the diaper for him, put some triple paste on.
Rest in peace, Joe. All right, you knew about some stuff, certainly. And
that's what I was
there's some things happening, but as football coach, I think a lot of people thanked him for the development in which AQ thanks him a lot for that. But he did poop his pants, and that's not the only position. I mean, there's a lot of professions where people stick around too long, and they almost ruin the entire gimmick.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They almost ruin everything that anybody's thought about them. But it's hard not to take a paycheck. you know? And also be treated like a god.
Yeah, doing something you love.
If you're still working at that age, everybody grew up a fan of you. So you can basically do, say, and accomplish whatever the hell you want. I'm not saying Saban's at that age. And how old is he? He's like 70?
I think so.
72.
He looks good, dude.
How old's Belichick?
He is 72, or he's turning 72 before the
71.
See, but I think college and the NFL is different because, like, I would imagine that when you constantly have like 18 to 21-year-olds coming in, like that makes you kind of stay young and feel young a little bit. Whereas, like, if you're coaching in the NFL, like you see guys, if they play for a long time, it's like, shit, you know, we just drafted this guy and he's 31 already. Like that would make you feel a lot older. But when you constantly have these young recruits coming in, like I would imagine that makes you kind of feel a little bit younger.
How much bit younger? Like what the hell is he doing? What, driving around the car? Hey, let's go.
To recruit?
Yeah, that's it.
So that's what I was about to say. Like in his off season, he probably just comes into the office, calls or Zooms a couple recruits, walks around the building, goes down to the weight room. All right. And then he's probably he's electric sliding onto his boat and onto a golf course. Yeah. Just like Ian Rappaport taking a 2-week break right now. Like, hey Saban, you earned it, pal.
Yep. Yeah.
Do whatever the hell you want to do.
Crushing.
Still the fact that's guy's number 3 wide receiver in America there.
Yep.
And he's like, Saban told me he's coaching until he dies. I listen to him. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm going.
There's a lot of people on the internet saying, I'm sure he said that to him. Never heard a coach lie before.
Oh.
What are you saying, Saban lying to these kids?
I don't think
so. What if Saban does say to one class, though, you're going to be in my last class, so you guys are just not recruiting over the next 3 years? Well, I'm going to tell them I'm gone before you're seen. I'm going to tell the truth. That's the only, like, honorable way to go out, I guess?
Yeah.
In college coaching?
Is being honest with the last class and letting them know before.
Because that's always the thing that coaches get killed for.
Yeah.
You said you were going to, and you left before they even. It's like, well, sorry.
Brian Kelly at Notre Dame.
Brian Kelly, Rich Rod. I mean, that happened to us. Well, I mean, there's a lot of that, but it's like as you get older, you start thinking business. You start thinking to yourself like, Rich Rod probably made some very valid points whenever he was talking about how good we were and how shitty our shit was. You know what I mean? And everything like that. And the administration wouldn't help. Got it. Okay, I get it. At the time, though, you know, I had a lot of bullets facing me too. Would have been nice you come back. We win a national championship. I don't have to, you know, just be buried for the rest of my life. But I understand you got to do what you got to do. Now, it's not going to work out there or the next place or anywhere else, but he couldn't have known that. But it is, how does Nick Saban exit gracefully? I don't know. I don't know how that happens.
He doesn't.
You can't. I don't think there's any.
No.
Unless you get fired, which means you suck.
Right.
There's no easy exit out of a college coaching position.
They're never going to suck.
I guess unless your wife's the head coach and you bone a.
Oh, there you go.
Let's get to a break. Hour 2 will be on the other side. You know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Boston.
Bingo.
Yep.
Could he bring in like a successor and have it be like someone that is also respected? And
then he would have to say,
he's going to come.
This will be the guy that'll coach you junior, senior year because I'm fucking out of here. I got a boat on a lake
right there
that is waiting.
Bowden was 80 and Paterno was 84 when they.
He just signed an 8-year extension?
Yeah. He'll do it for however long he wants.
Yeah, shit.
We love to.
That's 79.
Hey, he was awesome, bro, on game day. He was really awesome. Genuinely cared.
Yeah.
Was in tune with everybody. Like, I think at the hotel lobby, he was
so cool. He was just like, where'd you guys get that coffee?
Just talking to everybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, where'd you get that?
Forgot all about that.
Yeah.
He's a human. He's
approached us, too. Didn't, like, you know.
Still a human.
I think Zeke was like, hey, coach. And then he just walked over friendly.
Have to be if you're dealing with 17, 18, 19-year-olds, 20, 21-year-olds. You got to be approachable and you got to be human.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even the clips of him on the boat with his team, it's like, oh, this guy is still in it. Like,
he told me I was very coachable, too.
Hell yeah. Sounds like you just made that up because I have not heard that ever before. But we'll roll with it.
Sure.
We'll roll with it.
Saban.
Zeke, you are coachable, pal.
Thank you.
Coach Saban said it.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get to a break. AJ Hawk will be on the other side. Jet Passon will join us. More baseball.
Okay.
We like that.
Love baseball.
I got a gift. We all got gifts.
Yeah,
Not
we
all
did.
of us.
Wow. Yikes.
Sorry about it, Nick. Sorry about it, Bruce. Sorry about it, Dirty.
What?
Sorry about it, Urbo.
What?
Sorry about it, Bill.
What?
Sorry about it, Mitt.
Sorry.
Everybody else got fucking sweet gifts.
What'd you guys get?
Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it when Jet Passon comes on. Make sure you keep your microphone off because you didn't get fucking shit.
Don't feel bad, me either.
Oh! Oh! Racist gift.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Well, Zito is
He's Cuban.
Cuban.
Yeah. He's not white.
So I guess there is maybe a picking and choosing there.
A little bit.
I don't think that's
What's
the
that all
case.
about?
What is that all about?
What is that all about?
That is weird.
I'm not happy.
No jump?
I'm not happy. I'm not. Bingo.
Yeah, a lot of crop.
I'm not happy that you're not getting a bat. Nick not getting it, though?
You got bats? Who cares?
It's not a bat. Maybe it's a bat.
Custom.
They're pretty
Custom
sweet.
piece of lumber.
They are. It's a nice piece of lumber.
It is.
Bro, I got my name on it.
Oh,
Wood.
yeah.
That's sweet.
What?
They spell it right?
Yeah, they spelled it right.
Yeah, they spelled mine wrong. They had
But also right. Also right, too.
Yeah, ER on the full name, OR on a different one. So they were going to go 1 for 2 because they know in baseball, if you're hitting 500, you're going to Hall of Fame.
And they just wanted to spread it a wide net.
Bingo.
We'll get one of these right at least.
Don't want to be 0 for 2.
Gosh, what an ass. You didn't send the whole crew bats.
Who?
Send these bats.
Who?
Jeff?
Jeff
Yeah.
didn't send us.
Yeah, he said
Jeff sent these.
Yeah, make sure you tag Jeff.
Jeff would never.
Jeff Passan did not. He does not
Jeff
have.
sent these bats.
Jeff does not have pull at this particular
No,
company.
the king of the bats sent us the bat.
Oh, I know what that is.
Lord of the Bats.
We need to get you a bat.
Slugger.
We need to get Bill a bat, Dirty a bat, Bruce a bat.
What?
Bill, he has a bat. It's got a bunch of nails. Bill, he has a bat. It's got a bunch of nails sticking out of it.
Nick a bat.
That's because he wrestled McFoley last
Don't want a bat.
All right, we're
Nick a
back
bat.
at 5. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5.
Bye.
Today has become a massive day in our program's history because just yesterday at about 5:15 p.m. I was sent a text that said, "Hey, I think it's time." And I said, "What do you mean you think it's time?" "I think it's time to let the world hear where we're at." And I said, "Aaron, you let me know if you want me to let the world know about you coming on tomorrow." And he said, "Yeah, let's do it." I put a tweet out saying, "Hey, listen, you are cordially invited to Aaron Rodgers Wednesday tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just 56 minutes, 34 seconds away from right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers." What's up, dude?
Good afternoon. Good morning here. Good afternoon there.
There's a lot going on in your world, bro. I don't even know if you know this or if you've been so locked in.
This isn't a decision day. This isn't me deciding and announcing to the world that this is what's going on. In fact, that's already happened. You know, we're actually days past this. This is kind of clearing things up, I think, for everybody interested. And I'm going to get into this now, if you don't mind, Pat. I'm going to go for a little bit here.
Hey, go ahead. There's 430,000 people currently, so a lot more people watching than normal, and they are all interested because you're a fucking dog as a football player. So go ahead and do your thing, pal.
The timeline, which I think is important, that's why I'm going to go through it, is that in 2020, they drafted Jordan to replace me. There wasn't replacement right away, but as is the case with the Packers and kind of the way they do things, they like to get rid of players like a year early instead of a year late in their minds. There's probably some people who believe that I was a descending player and that it was time to make a change. Everything that I was told in the week that I was in Green Bay was, take as long as you want. We want you to retire a Packer. If you want to come back and play, obviously the door is wide open. When I came out of the darkness, something changed. I'm not exactly sure what that was, but something changed. I got back to my phone after 5 days off of it. I realized that there'd been a little bit of a shift. I heard from multiple people that I trust around the league, players mostly, that there was some shopping going on. They were interested in actually moving me. And at this point, you know, I got to admit, I went in the darkness, 90% retiring, 10% playing. My mind was, I'm tired of this. I hadn't got back into my workouts yet, and I thought that that was what was best for me. So I went in the darkness to contemplate a lot of different things, but one day I spent entirely on the reality I was retired, and one day I spent entirely on the reality that I was coming back and playing. When I came out, it was clear to me at that point that although the Packers were going to say the right thing publicly, that they were ready to move on. I don't know what changed that or what moved that. If they just said, hey, we need to make a decision here because he hasn't made a decision yet. Again, there's no victims here. I'm not sitting here as a victim. I love Green Bay. I love the fan base. They're incredible. I live for playing for them. A lot of love for the organization. I just think I wish that in the beginning of the offseason, that had been the conversation. This is a credible profession, but it's a tough business.
You've said that
And
for
I
a
think
long time.
Some of these issues were things I was talking about 2 years ago. It was how do we treat older players on the way out? And it's ironic that now I'm that player, but I think that's the beauty in life is the sense of humor that the universe has. No malice, no bitterness towards Packers. So I've shifted my focus to entertaining what the plane would look like. The Packers granted obviously permission for the Jets to come out and visit. We had a nice visit. At this point, as I sit here, I think since Friday, I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Okay.
I haven't been holding anything up at this point. It's been compensation that the Packers are trying to get for me, kind of digging their heels in. So I would just, I think it is interesting at this point to step back and look at the whole picture. My side, love and appreciation, gratitude for everything that Green Bay has done for me. Love, so much love and gratitude, and just heart open for the Packer fans. And what it meant to be their quarterback. And also the reality of the situation. Like, it is what it is. Packers would like to move on. They've let me know that in so many words. Because I still have that fire, and I want to play, and I would like to play in New York. It's just a matter of getting that done at this point.
Okay, people in New York are doing this right now. People in New York are pumped right now. You sent a list of demands. Need you to sign Lazard. You need to sign Randall Cobb. I want Jordy Nelson out of the fucking ranch. Did that all happen?
It's so ridiculous.
Hey, that's happening, though. Like, you need to know.
Ask Schefter what I texted him when he somehow got my number and texted me. I didn't respond to Diana Rossini, I think her name is. I would say the same thing that I told Schefter. Lose my number. Nice try.
Schefter tweeted the photo. He said, Aaron did not lie. There it is. That's confirming. Lose my number. Good try, though.
I'll speak for myself. I'm sure there'll be people that have their sources. From what I've seen, it's like I had a sheet of paper when I met with the Jets and I said, sign these people. And that's not the reality. It's so stupid to think that I would do it, number one. Now, did they ask me about certain guys that I played with over years? Of course. Did I talk glowingly about teammates that I love? Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Sue me, don't actually.
Like, my only demand is for transparency. And if you say some bullshit, sometimes it's not even worth it. But like I said, when something gets out there and then assumed to be true, then it can take on a life of its own. It can go from, oh, there was a conversation about 20 different players to, oh, he wants these guys to be signed, otherwise he doesn't want to come. It's like, come on, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's all in the delivery of the information.
And I'm just really thankful. I got to be the starting quarterback of the Packers for 15 years. I got to be in an organization for 18 years. 18 years, that's a teenager. That's becoming an adult. And that's what I did there, and it was because of the people I met there and the places I went and the times that I had. I love you, Green Bay. Thank you. And I'm as sad as some of you are, but we'll meet again.
Massive show yesterday. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
And that says that the peak concurrence for 496, 285, but I've seen a lot of photos from people that are 498.
Wow.
Nonetheless, felt like afterwards, looking back on it, everybody was hanging out with us yesterday. Obviously not because of us. We know that. But Aaron, what a dog, dude.
Hey, look it. From Wee-Man! You learned something from Brock. And Wee-Man back in the ring. He's stalking Sammy. Listen to this place. Oh, to the kneecap. Wee-Man so active. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Wee-Man body slamming Sami Zayn. Wee-Man used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
Hey,
What?
let's go! This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our home of the boat, the Thunderdome. On this, congrats to LSU on winning another natty. Tuesday, June 27, 2023. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Sports are happening. We had a national champion crowned last night.
Yeah.
Congrats to LSU on winning the Baseball World Series in dramatic fashion. 18-4, just beat the fuck out of the Florida Gators in Game 3 in a best-of-3 series. Obviously, they lost 24-4 the day beforehand, and then their bats got hot, and they didn't even have to use their number one ace, Paul Skeens, even though we thought we might see him take the mound. He will be a Pittsburgh Pirate, but allegedly there's some reports that maybe number one overall doesn't want to go to Pittsburgh.
You don't say.
I don't know what that's all about. Hopefully that's... We need Skeens on the scene, okay? You know, talks to tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Boston Connor's mullet is still here. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. 14-year NFL vet and rapper. Hey, got a new song, banger.
Banger.
When are you going to put that out?
That's a good question. Maybe another month.
All right.
Another month,
bro.
Don't be like
July. Let's say July. The week that we off. That's when I'll put it off.
Oh, that's smart. Why would you do that?
So we don't get to talk about it? Yeah.
All right, the week before.
Okay, smart.
There we go.
Look at this. Okay,
Song
we're
this
doing
summer.
it.
Yeah.
Song this summer.
Yep.
Song this summer. Joining us now is the college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winning, COVID beating, champion of Ohio, president of Ohio, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall. AJ, let's dive right into it. I seen Nick Chubb do something in a weight room that you could never, ever, ever accomplish. And I know you like to get after it in the mornings, and you wake up early, and you put on your little headphones and listen to all your toxic podcasts about everything going on. And while doing that, you beat the shit out of your body. Did you see what Nick Chubb was doing in the weight room? 610 pounds on a absolutely metal bar that is not supposed to bend this way. ESPN NFL commented, you know it's heavy when you make the bar bend like that. I think there were some people confused about the potential bar that he was using. Nonetheless, 610 pounds on a stability squat bar, up and down. What a dog. I know this gets your juices flowing, AJ.
Yeah, what is it? Load coupled with CNS activation. Is that part of that bar that makes you like activate all your little whatever?
Yeah, I believe it's just like whenever people are. Derrick Henry was doing something on
bands
with his bands. He was doing it. I think the instability of it is supposed to activate little muscles that wouldn't normally in a static lift be operated. Yeah. People, I've only seen it a few times be used in public. Obviously, I've seen it on the internet. A lot of people have never seen it before, though.
No.
And there was a lot of reaction this morning.
Oh my God.
How's he doing that?
Look at the way the bar's spinning.
Holy shit.
You know what I mean?
It's very impressive, man. Hey, that's why that dude runs through 15 tackles a game pretty much, I would guess.
And he's got those big quads. Former track guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Remember they have that track photo of him running in high school? He looks like a 45-year-old?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Dude, is he absolute dog. Did like to see the bar kind of make its way into the convo. Speaking of the bar has been raised. These refs still aren't fucking full-time in the NFL, AJ. We talked to Rapp about it, and Rapp was like, I would have thought it would have been done by now, too. And he was about to go golf and then go on like a 2-week vacation, I think, 3-week vacation, whatever it is. He might try to catch up with Max and Jude whenever they get back, his kids. He might be on vacation till then, honestly. Not a bad play. Just ship your kids into the woods, get some photos online, and then go take a couple trips.
Smart.
He might have more figured out than all of us, but nonetheless, I think he's going to miss some things. This NFL ref thing, I don't get it, AJ. Why won't they just fucking do it, AJ?
I'm guessing they're saying it's a money thing, right? Like we don't have the money set aside to pay these guys as full-time officials?
Hell not.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, because they do.
We know it's garbage, but everything is garbage now. So what is the reason? What's keeping them away? The NFL, it's all they care about is like the integrity. We got to hold up the tradition we have, and obviously we have to have good officials for that to happen.
Right.
I was trying to think of some things that aren't garbage. 5-hour energy is never garbage.
No,
not garbage.
Nick Chubb, bending bars with all that
That's
weight.
not garbage.
That's not garbage.
No.
Nope.
Tell you
That
what,
smoked
We got-
meat out there, that's not garbage.
No way.
We got UFO congressman coming
Sheet
in.
there?
What?
There's meat smoking going on?
Yeah, somebody's out there smoking a lot of meat.
Yeah, people smoke meat in every state.
Actually remove some ribs to smoke some meat.
That's right.
Out here.
Yep.
Simple.
Yeah.
moving ribs is smoke.
Does it taste better that way?
But it's just simpler that way.
Marilyn Manson
gets the fat out.
Yeah, you get a nice mustard binder on there, and then
mustard with
Smoke
meat.
the hell out of
Incorporate that,
meat.
Yeah.
I think we got some of the Brock Lesnar blend too.
Oh,
yeah.
wide.
Oh my God.
Brock's blend always
bearded
makes meat
butchers,
smoking easier.
Yeah, hell yeah, Ohio.
There it is.
Anyways, it's not garbage. The NFL needs to do this. And I don't know.
What's the reasoning? What is the if you ask Raj, hey Raj, for real, we know it's not a money thing. What is the deal? Why are they not full time?
So I do worry, and everybody's calling us a sellout, saying what we can talk about, what we can't talk about on ESPN. Okay. Thank you for continuing to say that, even though seemingly the show has gotten worse since the announcement.
For sure.
Especially that fucking guy. Definitely that fucking guy. It's like these guys, this guy, when he went back, his friends in Ohio, sellout.
Sellout.
Oh, you think you'd be able to make Epstein Island jokes whenever you... So he's turned it up.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy went back to Boston for one fucking weekend. They were like, sellout.
Sellout.
What are you going to do? He's turned it up 1,000.
Had to.
He's turned it up an absolute 1,000. So I just don't know how you get this particular group of humans to speak about things differently. Now, we will have to drop fuck, which is seemingly becoming more and more difficult every single day.
We'll get around to it.
I don't think so. I'm really worried about that one. That one might be a little
We'll
bit
work on it later.
We'll figure it out. We're professionals.
August.
We are professionals. But
You don't say it on game day.
Boom.
you're right. Or WWE when I was on there.
Or the watch along.
I don't say it when I'm sleeping.
But I can. That's right, Tone.
There it is.
Well, actually, we don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that. What if you're a sleep talker?
I would be told.
Yeah, what if she's sleeping?
Yeah.
Ooh, no, anything I do wakes her up.
Tony slept on a stream here before.
I do wakes her up. Sorry. We've all been there, bro. Yep. We've all been there. But this is why I think Roger Goodell might never come on the program. And why, on like ESPN, I do get worried.
Was it ever an option that Raj Goodell was coming up?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was out there.
He did the New Heights show.
I mean, we might have Barack Obama before Raj Goodell.
That'd be.
Don't sleep on Barry.
I don't know if. Okay, so we allegedly have been in contact with his office.
Obama?
Barack?
Okay, no former presidents.
Okay.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay, AJ. Okay, we'll reach out to President Obama.
Yeah.
Okay,
Please, for Zeke. I need Zito. I think he would be great day for him.
Could do the Sirianni with Zito and Barack.
Oh,
with the way he did it with Ty. And
all right, put a split screen. Don't sleep on Barrio. Hey, President Obama, we need you to say, "Don't sleep on Barrio."
over and over and over again.
We need to do that. We got an impressionist here who absolutely kills it. But people are also thinking like we won't be able to say things. Me talking about the refs is going to be something I'm always going to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. And the reason is because I'm very passionate about it. Because I've seen a lot of really good teams get fucked over by like tiny little, like chipping away at a couple. One bad official in a game, calling 2-3 things can change an entire season.
Yes.
Can change the entire course of people's lives. So like me as somebody that rode the coattails of a lot of people to a lot of games, I also got a chance to see the reactions after games whenever somebody who definitely could have been better at their job made a decision that fucked everybody. It's like that is something that should be taken more serious, I think, by fans, I think by media, and definitely by the NFL. They need they know. They hear from coaches every single week, like, hey, this guy's going to get fired and never have a job because of this blown block in the back of the special teams play that isn't real. Like, we got to get this better. We got to fix it.
How much better can they get? Like, how much better will it be, though, if they do say, okay, let's say 3 years from now, they're full-time officials. Is it that much better?
All right, AJ.
Well, it's got to be better if they ain't got a full-time job. At least they can concentrate on the fucking game.
Yeah, that, and also, like, what does confidence come from? In my eyes, as somebody who, in my profession, had like a moment of when I lacked confidence, and then I found it again. And then I realized it's in those massive moments that you just rely on like your fundamentals. Like you just rely on what you worked on, like you remind yourself of what you did. If they're doing full-time camps and seminars and fucking, they're just naturally going to be more confident, I think. Just like these NHL refs. I think the thing about the NHL refs, and I'm sure there's NHL fans that are like, we got these. But in my eyes, they're the most confident. Like, at least they're competent and confident. We have some NFL refs that are scared to death to be in a big moment. Scared, you can tell. And then they just sit on and move. It's like, I think at least confidence grows if they're spending their entire being focusing on this one thing, as opposed to selling cars or a law firm or they getting somebody out of fucking murder trial. What are we even doing?
Ian said that they don't want to lose their card. They like selling cards. They don't want to be a full-time.
Yeah, that was Ian's response. Well, some of these refs really like their job. Well, get them the fuck out of the league.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, cool.
On to the next one.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we like our job. Sweet. Yeah. You know, if I wanted to play in the NFL, you know what I wouldn't be able to do that I like a lot? Probably this show.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but I'm in the NFL. Oh, that's crazy. Welcome to the fucking show, dude. I don't know how that isn't the view. And if Roger was to ever come on the program, and I don't like tipping questions to anybody, but I would certainly say, like, what are we doing with the refs? Like, come on. What are we, and then I would like
he'd give us a right to the point answer, no question.
I don't know if he's ever dealt with somebody like me. I feel very confident in conversation. I feel pretty confident. I like to know a little bit about everything so I can talk to anybody about anything. Okay, but if you get out of that comfort zone, we got to direct you know what I mean? We got to keep the convo here,
bring it back,
and then we got to get it back to something where so you can kind of have that in the NFL and with his decisions. I'm very confident in like knowing everything about Roger Goodell, pretty much. And I have a lot of respect for what he's been able to accomplish with the NFL. I mean, 1.5 million people in queue for tickets for the fucking Frankfurt game between the Chiefs and the Dolphins this morning. So where Roger Goodell has led the NFL, and obviously there's other people making decisions, and people say he's just the bodyguard for the NFL owners. You think they're paying him $60 million because he's just a bodyguard? Yeah. You don't think he's coming up with ideas and solutions and everything like that to guide this league where everything else is doing this? Yep. Everything else is doing this. The fucking NFL is doing this.
The last thing left. It's the last thing left on TV, on anything that is appointment TV. Hey, I'm going to watch this at this time. Like, it's one of the few things where you can get massive amounts of people to watch.
So I have massive respect for everything Roger, but there's some things that the NFL does that I just I don't understand.
Well, yeah.
Do we know what the refs are asking for? Have they asked for anything? How much is it? It's got to be something that they are not releasing that we don't know about.
Yeah, and why don't the refs ever just put out hey, the reason why we didn't agree to a deal, this is like when the NFL was negotiating with the NFLPA, and the NFL filters information out through pundits, and they're like, we just offered them 51% of the money, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. They turned down $7 billion extra or something like that, and then the person will go say it, and everybody's like, these players are fucking stupid, greedy, millionaires and everything like that, and it's like, the players are like, well, they actually threatened to take away all insurance from us. Well, it's like, well, that information never gets made public, so we only hear one side. The refs don't really have to answer for shit.
Yeah.
Right.
They have those pool reporters every once in a while where they just say, we'll look at it again, and then we'll let you know our thoughts.
Release that statement.
And then it just kind of move on. They don't really talk ever, and we never hear about why there isn't a full-time deal. That needs to happen, though. That script conversation, okay, that was very loud last year.
Yeah.
And that was the first year, really, was 17? How many states? 20?
20, I want to say 26 around.
Yeah, 20 plus, I thought.
20-some states. That's the first year where there's like a good portion of people.
A lot.
It's only going to keep growing. So you just can eliminate that narrative would be smart. Is just what I think, and worth the financial, whatever it is when you zoom out long term. Personally, it's right.
I mean, the reality is that they should have went to full-time refs after the replacement ref fiasco. Like after that, they should have been like, hey, we see how bad it can be. Like this is terrible. We can't ever go back to this. And the reality is they should have just fucking had full-time refs right after that. That should have been part of bringing the refs back.
Was that against the Packers?
Yeah. Packers lost the game to the Seahawks because of the fucking replacement refs. Yeah.
Were you in that game, AJ?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, heartbreaker, huh?
It's tough.
Oh, my God.
That was a tough.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It got the refs back, though.
It did get the refs back.
Thank you, AJ.
There was like little things that were happening with those replacement refs. Like even in my world that nobody even knows about. Ball definitely should be spotted on the left hash.
Yeah.
They spot on the fucking right hash. It's not a cable.
Where were they reffing? Where were these replacement guys? Did they come from college and high school or what?
I remember they said
MBA.
a couple of them came from like D3.
It was bad.
Oh, okay.
They
was
weren't
bad?
Even, they
It
weren't
was
even doing
bad.
like major college football.
I mean,
That's the more reason why we need full-time refs.
Yeah, they should have a PA for the refs,
Yeah.
if anything. Like,
they have a union,
I don't
right?
know if that helps. Yeah, if there's a union, they need a
The issue
better
is all the
spokes.
good ones
I
got
don't
plucked
know.
at TV. Okay? All the good ones got plucked at TV. And then now.
how many young people are trying to become refs? So that's the other
So
question.
there's nothing. You make it a real profession with a real pipeline with like internship and a training camp and everything. You can get former players in there, right? Ain't that
Some of them, yeah, I definitely want some of them doing it.
okay? And if they're not good, don't let them on the field. You sound a little judgy there.
Just like anything. What do you mean? Yeah, like I want people, like I'm trying to think who would be the ideal person to be a ref in the NFL. Someone that maybe played some football at some level. It could be even high school, that loves the game and is like a sporting nerd, like, hey, I'm into all of this stuff, and I want to make sure this game continues the way it is.
Kent Gamble.
Chris Crockett.
Can't do anything really. Who?
Chuck Davis.
Chris Crockett. It's pretty good.
Chris Crockett.
Yeah, safety.
Okay, put him in there.
Yeah.
Charles Davis for
Gary
sure.
Brackett.
Yeah.
Gary.
Oh yeah.
I'd want Gary Brackett out there reffing. Joining us now is
Wayne Corbett.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
DJ
Yes.
Khaled.
DJ Khaled probably figured out. I don't know if they're
Wes
gonna pay him.
Welker.
Welker, he's coaching.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
But he might want to ref if they bump that salary up and make it.
They just all year working on it. Guys would feel like they're a part of something. I mean, it would. You could.
Edelman.
Let's pivot away from football. This man has wasted too much time listening to us bitch about the refs, about a potential conversation that's never going to happen with Roger Goodell.
Sure.
True.
Joining us now is the insider for baseball. Yeah. He is the face of baseball. Actually seen him covering college baseball the other day in a sweet suit and tie with his hair coiffed perfectly. Ladies and gentlemen, grab the gas. It's time to fuel the jet. Jeff Pass. What's up, buddy?
What's up, fellas? Hey, Connor, can you do me a favor and just turn around like 180 degrees? The mullet looks tremendous today, and I want to see how far it's flowing right now.
It goes
back.
Yeah. He's got that hang time.
Honestly, at first when he went full mullet, I was out. It's working, man. Like, no joke. I'm not setting you up for a punchline or anything. Like, it looks fantastic.
All right.
That was nice,
Jeff. That was very nice of you, Jeff.
Yeah, wow.
Finally.
It's a good Tuesday. It's a nice Tuesday.
It's a great Tuesday. Listen, I know he's going to be a scumbag all the time. I got to give him compliments now and again.
Okay. I knew there was something. The jet doesn't just take off.
No, it's a whole new guy. The mullet was born.
Yeah.
Summer solstice, longest day of the year. The mullet comes. He's been a brand new guy. True. You should have seen him in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Doing my
Nashville.
hair.
Whole new guy. Had sunglasses, the helmet on, just being real friendly to everybody.
Yeah.
He's a whole new guy.
I love that. I don't believe it for a second, but I love it anyway.
All right. He did steal somebody's hat.
I did. I stole a lot of things. But, I mean, just normal
Didn't
stuff.
buy a drink for anybody, but did try to alcohol poison me.
Yeah, that's true.
That was something that. Hey, let's get back to baseball, the world that you're in. Seen you covering the College World Series. Obviously, number 1 overall pick, either
Dylan Cruz or Paul Skeens. Yep.
Which I just assumed it was Skeens going to the Pirates, number 1 overall. He's 6'7", he throws 100 miles an hour. Is that not what fucking baseball is? What are we doing? But then you think about Dylan Cruz, Golden Spikes Award winner. He was fun to learn about, and he seems to be like all the moxie and incredible at baseball. Yeah. Teammates loved him, even though he's been hyped up as a superstar, I guess, for numerous years. Could have been a millionaire, wanted to do the college life. So let's get to this. With the LSU team, is this like what normally happens in the College Baseball World Series? Like, they'll have how many guys in the majors? They got the 2 best players right now. They're obviously going to win. Is that normally what happens? And how different was this year versus last year, if that makes sense?
This, Pat McAfee, is the power of NIL showing itself because LSU, it's like in women's basketball, doing the same thing right now. LSU wants to build the biggest powerhouse in college athletics that we've ever seen. And Paul Skeens was at the Air Force Academy. He was a two-way player. He was like Ohtani. He was a catcher and he was a pitcher before this year. But LSU came calling. He went down there. They turned him to a pitcher full-time. And he's the best pitching prospect, Pat, that we've seen since Garrett Cole and Steven Strasburg coming into the MLB draft. He's got everything. Like you said, he's big. He's strong. He's disciplined. He's got work ethic, and his shit is off the charts. It's not just a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He throws a fantastic sweeper, which is the slider that goes side to side. He's got a changeup that's devastating in his start. Did you see the Wake Forest LSU game, by the way?
No, I heard it was awesome. A pitcher's duel, a real one.
Hungover Ryan McGee was really. He called it the best college baseball game, best college World Series game he's ever seen, and that guy has seen a lot of college World Series games.
Yeah.
It was it was a pitcher's duel between Skeens and Rhett Lauder, who's going to be a top 10 pick himself. Goes to extra innings. Tommy Tanks hits the walk-off home run. Another guy who transferred from NC State, NIL money there. I mean, it just goes to show you, in college sports, when you want to be good, there is an avenue to that goes well beyond recruiting and coaching and facilities now. All you need to do is get that collective going and get that paycheck out there, and you're going to be Kylie McDaniel, our draft and prospect insider at ESPN, did an analysis on LSU versus major league teams' farm systems. And like Kylie said, LSU's roster right now is more valuable than about a third of the entire farm systems across Major League Baseball.
Sweet. I love that they do that. We have a collective in West Virginia. It ain't working. It's going backwards. So LSU is doing something. They're doing something down there, and I'm enjoying watching it. I wish we would have seen Skeens last night a little bit, but I enjoyed watching Hurd kind of do his thing. Yeah. I like to hear that they're being aggressive. Just like
another NIL guy, by the way.
Okay.
Thatcher Hurd's story is super interesting because he got the money, got some grief for it, donated all of it to the LSU food pantry. So Thatcher Hurd used his NIL money to go and feed people who are in need, which is a super cool thing. And then to see him go out there and shove the way he did last night was awesome.
Hell yeah, he's shoving all over the place.
Hell yeah.
Just like I liked back when the Yankees used to pay more than everybody to win.
Yep.
I like when teams are like, are we trying to win? Yes. Is everybody trying to win? Yes. Cool. This is what we're going to do. I hope they have continued success. We always like seeing that. Go ahead, AJ.
Jet, do we know what these NIL deals for baseball players, like the top of the market, look like compared to other sports like football, basketball? Are they getting anywhere near that kind of money?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think
that herd was like 58,000, wasn't it? Wasn't that herd one like 58,000 or something like that?
I think we're in, like, for the best players, I think we're in more of the like 1 to 200,000 range. You know, there were rumors about players getting 7 figures, but we were never able to substantiate those. Hey, maybe it's true. As college baseball gets more popular, I'd love to believe that the players are going to be paid what their actual value and worth is. And I think this College World Series was really a phenomenal showcase for people who may not have been into college. Like, baseball's been having some moments this year where non-traditional events like the World Baseball Classic or like the College World Series are getting a lot more run in the sporting public than they have in the past. And I think it's great to see, because when you have a brand new Major League Baseball with the pitch clock, but you've also got these other events that are all built into this baseball universe, and everything sort of ties in together. You know, Kyle Teal from Virginia, College World Series, Paul Skeens, Wyatt Langford from Florida, Dylan Cruz. There were like 7 top 10 picks, Rhett Lauder, who were in the College World Series this year. When your stars can be at your marquee events, it's a lot easier to sell to the public on why this game is so great.
Yeah, I said a week and a half ago that I would never watch the College World Series.
Yeah. No chance.
I said, we're having Jet Passon on today. Don't know why. 0% of this College World Series thing interests me. I will not watch it. And then I found myself watching it, obviously, home with the baby and the wife and nothing else on. And then you start tasting like the environment and the vibes. Yep. And then there's something to the sound of that bat. You know what I mean? There's something to the sound of that bat hitting there.
Let the majors use them.
Should. Yes. Yeah, why not? Give them softball.
1,000-foot dongers. That'd be awesome.
Oh, dongers,
Yeah,
1,000 feet. Oh my God.
I've been saying for the longest time, at the Home Run Derby, if you're going to do a timed event, they should have a pause at the 30-second mark, and the metal bats come in there, and you just see 550-foot nukes for the last 30 seconds.
That's smart. We should definitely do that. I hope they listen. But speaking of the bats, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Jet, obviously in the second game, Florida was rolling. They scored 24 runs. And then in the third game, LSU scores 18. What was the deal with the bats? Because obviously they kind of fell off for Florida. Did they switch their bats? Did they not use the same bats in the third game? Did LSU get Florida's bats for the third game? What was the situation there? Because they really did kind of fall off a cliff. And obviously when you're scoring 24 runs, it's going to go down a little. But, you know, they started off in the first inning, hit a homer, and then they just kind of never did anything after that.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak, Connor, to specific teams because I don't know details on that. But there was a really interesting story in Baseball America a couple weeks ago about why offense and home runs are up so much this year in college baseball. And, you know, they listed a couple of reasons. That maybe it's something that has to do with the ball, and maybe it has to do with the pitching. But the big takeaway I got from that story is across college baseball, there are a lot of questions about the legality of these metal bats. Right?
Allegedly. Brett Favre situation.
That's why I'm not speaking to any specific team, any specific person, and I would never dare do such a thing. But I will say this. If you go onto the internet right now and Google shaved and rolled bats, there are companies out there that make bats hotter. You send them your bat, and they go literally inside the bat. It's almost like corking of bats, and they do some dirty work on those bats. And you know, the testing process that's in place right now by the NCAA for bats, frankly, is not up to snuff. Like, there are teams that are out there that are absolutely outside the parameters of what a bat is supposed to be like. And the thing is, college baseball uses what's called BB core bats. You know, back in the 2000s, there were these bats that were designed that were, I mean, the balls that were coming off of them, frankly, were dangerous. Like, it was scary how hot the ball was coming off these bats. And so they put these parameters in place with BB core to try and make them more like wood bats. they are not performing like wood bats at all. Like these things are, it's like something the space program would create. And
stars on Mars.
It's no doubt. And it's leading to this amazing offensive explosion, which, you can argue is never a bad thing for baseball. I mean, the most popular baseball ever was when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were, allegedly using steroids. But the idea, Pat, that guys are doing this perfectly legally right now, I don't buy it. And it's interesting because it causes questions for all the major league teams that are scouting these guys.
Is that the batter or the guy?
Oh,
is that the batter or the guy? Is that the batter or the guy?
They've become so reliant on data, like what's a guy's exit velocity and what launch angle does he hit at, that when you have questions about the bat, you begin to question the launch angle and the exit velocity. And when you begin to question that, you've got to go back more to the traditional scouting. Do I like this guy's swing? Do I like his makeup? Once he transitions to wood bats, is he going to completely fall off the face of the earth, or is this going to be a guy whose talent plays regardless of the equipment he's using?
Is this guy playing in beer league softball or in the majors? I mean, we get it. We understand what you're saying. And kind of add on to what you just said there, Zito used to run a softball league in Illinois, one of the best softball leagues of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Had to test the bats for pressure, the amount of pressure, compression test, because there was people that got, I think somebody died with a softball.
Yeah, pitchers were dying. The return speed of the ball would just fucking get him right in the face.
So he had,
Zito, did you ever cheat?
Oh,
Be
no.
honest.
Zito's running the league.
Come on.
No,
Zito's not cheating the league.
Have I used a loaded bat? I have. But
Not
I
in
didn't
your
like
league.
it.
Not
I
in
didn't
your
like it.
league.
Not in my league.
Not in your league. Somebody else's league. They should have been running the same compression test you were running. And as soon as you told me you were doing that in your beer league softball game because people died in Illinois, I just assumed they would be doing that in the College World Series.
Yeah.
So I think there is a way to potentially kind of find it. Maybe they don't want to because 24 runs and then 18 runs followed in the World Series is certainly a little bit more interesting to the casual fan than if it's not taking place. But those balls were going so far on such a regular basis. I enjoyed it personally, but I guess there is some bat controversy. Ty has a baseball question for you, I assume.
Yeah, Jed, is it just in vogue now where any guy who is a two-way player in college, like we just compare him to Ohtani? Like what, I mean, like Caglione, like, he pitched and didn't pitch very well, but he's also a great hitter. And then you said Skeens, is Ohtani-like. Like, how many of these guys who are
He is not happy with you, Jet.
No, it's not Jet necessarily, but I feel like, as a baseball purist yourself, Jet, like you understand how difficult and how insane what Ohtani is doing actually is. Like, how many of these guys who are potentially going to get drafted are actually going to play both ways in the majors? Like, it's only Ohtani, right?
Yeah. I mean, we have to remember that before Ohtani, there was Babe Ruth. And it's 100 years between the two. And there were some Negro Leagues players who went both ways, but it just goes to show how difficult this is. I think we use Ohtani as a point of comparison just because he's actually able to do it. And we want to believe, like, deep down that this incredible thing we're seeing on a daily basis from him can even be replicated at 60, 70, 80%. Like, I could see a scenario in which Jack Caglione, who's got phenomenal power, plays first base on a regular basis and maybe comes out of the bullpen. Because, he struggles with his control, struggles with his command, but he's got premium stuff. And that's the sort of thing that you normally see in a relief pitcher. The Giants last year took a kid in the first round named Reggie Crawford out of UConn, and he was just coming off Tommy John surgery. But Reggie Crawford, another left guy, throws 99 miles per hour and hits nukes. So Reggie Crawford, they're trying that as a two-way player down in the minor leagues right now. And there have been experiments in the past. Brendan McKay with the Rays came out of Louisville as a two-way player and, made it to the big leagues, but has been hurt. Casey Kelly with the Red Sox, they were trying that for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't pan out.
The
point you're making is a really astute one. It is so hard to do what Shohei Ohtani is doing.
Guy in Georgia yesterday said, Oh, that ain't that impressive.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what he
So
said?
they ain't got nothing on Jack Tani.
That's what bingo. That's exactly what he said. And then obviously what happens to Jack happens to Jack. And then we kind of continue to watch Shohei play in big-time games that aren't the playoffs of the MLB because the team stinks still. They stink still?
No, they're doing okay right now, actually. And the thing that I like, yeah, they're on the cusp of a playoff spot at this point. The thing I really appreciate about the Angels right now, like, they're really trying. They, when they were having a hole at shortstop early in the season, they called up Zach Neto, who was their first-round pick last year. You don't see guys make it to the big leagues within a year of being drafted, and they just put him in at shortstop immediately, and he's been great. They've had issues with Anthony Rendon getting hurt on the left side, so they trade for Eduardo Escobar and Mike Moustakas, neither of whom is going to be a game changer, but neither of whom is a replacement player necessarily either. And that's the thing. They are in hard sell mode on Shohei Ohtani right now because they know if they don't make the playoffs this year, it's going to be really, really difficult to bring him back. And
all of baseball should be pushing for him not to go back if they don't make the playoffs again.
Yeah, I mean, look, baseball would be a much, much better game with Shohei Ohtani playing in October. And I have no horse in the race here. All I want is to see the best players playing in the biggest moment. And that's why the College World Series this year was so awesome, right? Because the best players were in the biggest moment. The fact that Mike Trout hasn't played in the postseason since 2014.
It's an embarrassment.
Big leagues
it's an embarrassment.
For more than a decade, and still
I'm sick of it, AJ.
Playoff game.
You know, the big moment that we needed for World Baseball Classic, we got it. Mike Trout was at bat, Shohei was pitching.
Perfect.
That is the biggest moment that could possibly happen. And we got the greatest American and obviously greatest baseball player of generation, is what everybody was saying. And then Shohei does what Shohei does, and then casually picks up the trophy, goes to the back, and we all think to ourselves, that's the biggest game that guy's ever played in. Why?
By far.
Because the team stinks.
Because the Angels blow.
How do we do this? I thought this was baseball. You need a pitcher. He's the best. You need a hitter. He's the best. How much shitty play has to surround that for them not to win? Turns out it's a lot. Hopefully they're able to figure it out. I'd like to see him play during football season because if not, I'll probably not watch any baseball.
No chance.
Pac-Man has a question for you, Jet.
What up, Jet? Everybody in Cincinnati is going crazy about the Reds right now. When Cruz get up the bat, he's the youngest player to go for the cycle, so the whole team is Cruz. Then they come off and lose three games back to back. Should I be worried as a Red fans, or should I be thinking about the good things that's going on?
Pac, the Cincinnati Reds this weekend hosted the Atlanta Braves, who are the best team in baseball. On Friday night, in front of a packed Great American Ballpark, they saw one of the best regular season games they've seen in the last 25 years. This is a franchise that has been starving for someone to root for. And Ellie De La Cruz goes out and does his thing, and Matt McClain does his thing, and Spencer Steer, and you have all these rookies. And then the next 2 days, they lose one-run games to, again, the best team in baseball. Austin Riley afterward, Austin Riley is a big guy, 6'4", 230-pound, looks like a football player, third baseman for the Braves. And he said, it felt like we played a football game on back-to-back-to-back days. That tells you how the Atlanta Braves regard the Cincinnati Reds. They see them as a peer, not just as an upstart that's trying to make waves right now, not just as a fluke. No, this is a team that's actually for real. And if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates right now, Pat,
what team's that guy on?
Cincinnati Reds in the future, because they are for real. Look, they may win the NL Central this year. You remember me coming on last time? I said I could see the Cincinnati Reds doing it, and then they rip off a 12-game winning streak.
Who said the football thing, though? What team was that?
Braves.
They're not going to win. That team's not going to win. I don't know much about them. They're not going to win, though. If that's what a guy's saying on the field, feels like we just played 3 football games.
Is that right?
Jeez Louise. This guy's got no clue about reality.
They're minus 3,000 to win their division. Jeez.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, holy shit.
Maybe they are going to win it all.
They are good.
Maybe maybe they are. Maybe this guy's on to something. Maybe I misread him. But the Reds are getting good. Pirates are getting good. Tone has a question about the Pirates.
Yeah, I do. Jet, you actually just mentioned the Angels bringing up a guy that they drafted last year, and that never happens. So when I'm seeing mocks that some of them have Dylan Cruz over Skeens when Skeens is MLB ready and apparently going to make an impact right away. Why are we seeing some that have Cruz going number 1 overall?
Because Cruz long term may be the safer bet. And at this point, I think Skeens can help the Pirates more right now. But Dylan Cruz, Tone, is a center fielder who hits for average, who gets on base, who has power, who has speed. He is like your prototypical 5-tool guy. And Paul Skeens is just a dude who's excellent at pitching, but because he throws so hard, the greatest correlation with an arm injury is velocity, right? So those hard-throwing guys are the most susceptible to get hurt. Dylan Cruz is as sure of a thing as we've seen in the MLB draft. Like, this is a loaded draft. In most years, Cruz would go 1-1, Skeens would go 1-1, Wyatt Langford would go 1-1. This year's got all three of them in it. So honestly, the Pirates can't do wrong here if they go with any of those 3 college players. Like, they're in a really good position. Well. And even though Skeens could come up this September and potentially pitch, they're not going to want to do that. And Dylan Cruz, honestly, is good enough where he could be in the big leagues by next year. Oh. Like, he's that legit. So I as long as they're not taking a high school guy, number 1 overall, and trying to Pat, let me explain to you the reason why they would do that. It's kind of what they did with
I don't want to hear it. Dylan Cruz, the most sure thing. Fucking take that guy.
Yeah.
We need another Jason Kendall in center field. Got it. That's what I just heard. Happy birthday, Jason Kendall. It was his birthday yesterday, but I just heard Jason Kendall center field there from Cuz.
He's the next Koch.
He's better than Jason Kendall.
Whoa. Slow down.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Sounds like a fake story, this guy. Maybe too good to be true. Maybe too good to be true. Why would they take a high schooler, though? Just because upside, they don't have to pay him?
No, it has nothing to do with upside. The way the MLB draft works is the best players don't go in order necessarily.
Baseball's so fucking dumb. I'm trying to get on it. Okay? Listen to what you just said. What are we even talking about?
No, but Pat, let me sell you on this, because I actually think this isn't necessarily a bad thing. What you want for your front office is the ability to be creative, right? You want the ability to go out there and not just have to walk down the same path. Like, listen, if you have a Wembanyama, if you have a Bryce Harper or a Steven Strasburg, who is so very clearly the number 1 overall pick, of course you're going to take him. But what baseball allows teams to do, they have set bonus pools with a specific amount of money. And you can spread that money around however you want it. So would you rather have a Dylan Cruz or a Paul Skeens? Or would you want one of these high school players like Max Clark or Walker Jenkins who have superstar potential, but then you can convince a guy to tell teams not to draft him because he wants a signing bonus that's too high, float him down to your 2nd, 3rd, 4th round pick, and get 3 or 4 really good guys instead of putting all your money into one?
I don't want to be creative.
No.
I want to win. I want to win
now.
I don't want to be creative.
No. Don't want to win in the next couple years. Want to win right now.
Sound like all these guys that are getting drafted have to go through at least a year or 2 process.
Right there.
Oh,
Yeah, so when they get drafted, even with NIL, these guys have to go to the minors?
Yes, you cannot sign a major league contract out of the draft anymore. You used to be able to. You can listen. You can sign. You can sign. Here's the thing, Pat. You could sign.
You didn't sell me at all, by the way. Just you did not sell me at all. I don't know how that was. Was that
because you don't want to think?
No, I am thinking.
thinking.
Oh yeah, I bet you are.
I am thinking. I'm thinking Dylan Cruz. What are we talking about? This guy wins the Golden Spikes Award. I was pissed we weren't getting Skeens. Yeah. And then he told me this guy's the most sure thing. It's a draft. We can get the most sure thing on our team. Let's fucking do that. Well, actually, you can float around a little bonus pool and go, you got to get 3 guys that maybe one of them could potentially maybe be a Cruz. And now you got a wider net. You don't have to give me the fucking guy. What do we?
Just say he's better than Jason Kendall.
Yeah. And now we're not drafting him?
Come on.
How's that even happen?
There's no way.
Yeah. Honestly, his jaw is not as square as Jason Kendall's. That's a fantastic jawline right there, isn't it?
Yeah, you should have seen his pop time. Go do that. You know how you said earlier, go on the internet and look up the whole bat shaving thing? Look up Jason Kendall's pop time, too. Don't be scared to do it.
1-2, Jet. I'll do it for you.
Boom. Boom.
Just drop a pop time on me?
Yeah, January 2nd, we celebrated it. Jason Kendall Pop Day.
That's right.
Come on. We all know what pop times are, Jet.
Anyways, Jet, we appreciate the hell out of you, buddy. Baseball seems to be in a great spot. How's the pitch clock going? Is it better?
It's awesome.
How about Oakland?
2 hours and 38 minutes for the average game pad. It's a beautiful thing because the game's the same otherwise. You've just shaved off 30 minutes of garbage, and it's awesome.
Hell yeah. How about Oakland? I seen that Manfred, right?
Yep.
Bob?
Yep.
Bob Manfred came out and said, yeah, it was nice to see about an average crowd in the MLB this year show up in Oakland. It was cool. A little shit talk in the middle of that whole thing, in the middle of that whole protest that was taking place. Obviously, baseball fans were not happy with his response and that. But how is that whole situation over there right now?
It's a mess. I mean, Las Vegas is getting a terrible team that it's probably not going to want to see. The stadium's not going to be built until 2028, so we have no idea where they're going to play, whether it's going to be at a AAA ballpark or are they going to stay. I mean, the whole thing is a mess, and it's been a mess from the start. And for Rob Manfred to have said what he said was just, it was irresponsible, it was childish, and it was dumb.
I'm sick of this guy.
Thank you, Jeff.
Classic Manfred.
Thank you for saying that.
About time.
Well, listen, you go back to him calling the World
Piece
Series.
of metal.
Yeah.
That was when we got introduced to you.
This to me, this to me was the worst thing he said since that. Because what are you saying if you're the commissioner of a sport and you're essentially demeaning your fans? Like, that's what fans took away from this, and understandably so. If the commissioner is standing there and talking down to a group of people who are trying to say to him, we love baseball, we just don't love this owner and all of the crap that he's pulled throughout the years, shouldn't you as a commissioner say, we appreciate the Oakland fans and we hear the Oakland fans and we understand? No, he's not going to do that, because much like Roger Goodell, like you were talking about, he is a well-paid flak jacket. Like, that's what Rob Manfred is for the owners. He takes all of the bullets for them, and he is extraordinarily well compensated for it.
All right. Well, it sounds like he doesn't do anywhere near as good of a job as Roger Goodell. But I do appreciate the fact that he said, I'm going to be heel. Fuck these people. They want to protest me. I don't care. People, I'm not in the baseball community. I did not. When I saw it, I was like, this guy's talking shit. This commissioner is heel right now. That is a wild response from that commissioner, but hopefully they'll get it figured out. Sounds like the Vegas situation is a nightmare, but just like everything else in Vegas, it'll get taken care of.
That's
Exactly.
It'll get figured out. We appreciate
stays in Vegas.
Well, not always. Hey, not always.
Clap comes
We
on.
appreciate the hell out of you, Jet. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Jet Pass. All right, let's get to a break. A lot of baseball talk today. I'm just, I gotta go take a shower.
Yeah, but geez, I didn't realize, boo-hoo, Rob Manfred's pissing everybody off. What's new? I mean,
As Jet is giving his full, it was immature,
irresponsible.
That whole thing. Connor's over here going, oh, boo-hoo. Oh. That was kind of, when I heard he was talking shit, and I tweeted and said, this guy's talking shit, the response was everybody was disgusted with Rob Manfred. There wasn't one person that was appreciative of this commissioner turning heel in the middle of you want to reverse protest us?
It's awesome.
Okay, sweet. Average crowd. If you want to do it, let's do a little.
Yeah, bring more people next time.
But
How
then
about
now that I'm learning about it, it's like these baseball fans probably have felt bamboozled by MLB and by Manfred for a long time. So he just seemed to have zero self-awareness about the situation. Now that's what I'm learning.
Yeah, he's a dipshit. There's no two ways about it. But also, he knows everyone hates his guts, so why not turn heel? Like, he's not getting anyone back on his side. Just not going to happen. Everyone thinks he's a moron. So it's like, yeah, I might as well. What's there to lose?
It's like the Reds owner. Remember the Reds owner saying that he'll just move the team?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What are you going to do?
I thought you said Red Zone, like television channel.
Scott Hand.
Oh.
But you were talking about the Reds
owner
who was wearing red leather pants with sunglasses on and said, hey, break it to you, Ohio fucks. If I was to sell this team, somebody else could. Guess what? They're out of this town.
Yeah.
You guys like this little parade you do on opening day? It would never happen. You know why? Team would be gone. So just sit there, buy your ticket, or don't buy your tickets, and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That's it.
Is that what he said, AJ?
Exactly.
Hey, he's just trying to motivate the squad, I guess, and it worked so far.
That was a year ago.
It was.
They were terrible last year.
They know. They're still stacking the chips, though. You know.
That's
They
right.
still know.
Ellie De La Cruz in his 22nd game or whatever. I was like, I remember what this owner said a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
He says he's going to take this team out of the city that I just got into.
That's right.
That ain't going to happen.
Not on my watch.
He's electrifying.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Sweet. That crowd, too, on Friday.
I know you're not a real fan, but like the Reds fans are really doing it right now.
I know. Cincinnati fans have always been that way. Like that's why you watch the Bengals now. Like they're winning a lot. They're contending for Super Bowls. You knew that was the case the whole time.
Bengals Stadium, incredible. The jungle, decor, incredible atmosphere. People describe it as a college atmosphere, let alone the team is like a college team, it feels like. Growing up in front of our eyes, how great they are. Then you look at the Reds, incredible stuff. Go for Cincinnati, Queen City.
Yeah, right.
Queen City.
Got
One of
Herbie
many.
behind the plate doing the fucking Angels in the outfield. thing.
Oh, my
Crap
God.
into it. Yeah.
He was a good clapper.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was like full on, perfect form for Joey fucking Votto. Reds! All right, we'll be back in the third hour with Congressman that I believe is trying to get the answers to the alien stuff.
That's right.
Huge.
Oh, okay.
That's how we met him. Remember, there was a House Oversight Committee where the expert of the alien stuff was going to testify. And there was a congressman who was like, okay, tell me what you know about this very Tic Tac video, which has been on the internet for a long time. And the person who was supposed to be the expert was like, we'll write it down to look into it or whatever. And this guy actually was like, you're telling me you don't know about this? And then he's Blue Book. Tell me about, you're telling me. So we like to cut this guy's jib.
He's awesome.
And it was off season. We're obviously into the alien conversation. He joined our show. He's wide open.
He was.
Yeah.
Former Marine.
Yeah.
Because he's still a Marine.
Yeah.
Still
Lightning
Marine.
rod.
Not a fan of John Cena.
Did talk some shit on John Cena
Understandably so.
for the situation he is in, certainly.
They didn't get along when they were in the Marines together?
Well, that's the thing.
That's what I thought.
That's part of it.
I believe he actually said, like, if you're going to be a Marine, we don't need you be friend in China.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much what he said.
He was han pissed.
Amen.
Which is very in
Mandarin.
bingo.
Is it very or so?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Either place.
I know. We can ask Gallagher.
Let's get to a break. We'll have that. We'll have updates on aliens on the other side.
Yes. Let's
Right?
go.
We will be getting a piece of information about aliens on the other side.
For real.
And if we don't, he's not coming in here to not.
No.
He knows. He
Is
knows.
he bringing one
knows
with
what
him?
to expect.
Did he say he's bringing something with him?
We don't know. If he rolls
Holy
a fucking
shit.
alien in here, though, that could happen. Be a friend, tell a friend. That might happen.
So,
Wow.
Can't wait.
Fight!
bye.
Oh, look at this.
Okay, so here's the story. That was after a show before Hammer Dahn because he had to go to another thing or whatever. So like all had to happen very quickly. Whenever we found out that Jack Carr was coming to the Thunderdome, I really wanted to make sure that we took advantage of everything that the Thunderdome has to offer and everything that Jack Carr has to offer. Artificial. He's the lead AI guy. Jack Carr is former sniper, you know. So if we didn't have him shoot somebody in the fucking head, would we have been doing it right? I don't think so. But in the modern world that we're in, it's tough to just have a guy shoot somebody in the head on a video and put it out in the middle of a sports program. So we had to build up a character that was hated enough by the entire world that they'd be okay with him getting shot right in the head in a matter of 3 minutes after being introduced to him. Boom! Could we find that guy? What?
I'm a method actor, so to be the most insufferable, hated human on the planet was pretty easy. However, the day was tough. I had to do terrible things. Titty twisters, I wrote boogers on the back of Bruce's shirt. I even pissed on Ty's shoes when he wasn't looking in the locker room. But I mean, it was all in the name of acting. Arthur Isaac Fischel, that's what he would do.
Once the creative wheels started rolling, it became pretty clear that Jim Kong was going to be a necessity.
How many people filmed it, though? I feel like you had so many nice cuts and everything.
Wow, Zito and Foxy and everybody back there heard me part of it. Bill.
Yeah. Pat asked, how many cameras do we have? So we grabbed them all. But the key was we couldn't show any cameras in any of the shots.
And we all know we only had one shot at this.
The most important part for me was nailing the accent of the character. So I've been working with a dialect coach for the last several months to really kind of try to pin it down.
I mean, you look like a fucking asshole. What are you talking about?
I think it came out great. I think I did a great job. It was well worth the investment.
Ever since I saw the Inglourious Basterds documentary, I was infatuated with the character of Antonio Margarete. And to have the opportunity to reprise his character in this was just an opportunity that I could not pass. It was an opportunity of a lifetime.
For Jack.
Felt a tremendous weight of responsibility in this role. As the waiter, I am literally setting the table for the entire scene.
Hey, Jack, I think you're tracking him.
Way around? Okay.
Because I think that's part of the shot is you're tracking him.
Okay.
Did he bring that gun?
No, we had to get it.
Past 2 years of my life, I've spent a lot of that time actually reading and listening to Jack Carr's books. So whenever I found out that I was going to be sighting in a rifle for, I mean, essentially my life hero, it was a great honor.
Are you going to hit the first try? Let's not waste it.
I don't know. We'll see. This thing's not sighted in. That's my only concern.
Oh, God damn it.
But Bill and Tim had it, but they were saying he was shooting a little bent barrel maybe. You know what I mean? Who knows? And then he says, well, where is it? And he grabs it, and then he stands like 10 feet away from this cardboard box and like, all right. So whatever Bailey and Tim were telling me about, maybe there's a little bit or whatever, I'm like, the guy's a Navy SEAL fucking sniper.
Yeah, Bill was all excited, but Bill is like shooting white-tailed deer in Indiana, okay? Jack Carr, he's a fucking professional killer. I always had a pretty good belief that he was going to figure it out.
Yes, that'll work. Square hands.
This is my bomb. That's a nuclear bomb.
AI gave to me a nuclear freaking bomb. Told me the only way to save this screwed up world is to blow it up.
Blow the world up. Holy shit!
That whole thing was first take. That was one run, that entire thing.
Yeah.
One run, that's it. As soon as Connor gets there, that thing.
Headshot.
Dude, that is. His brain is actually going out the other side, right where he was wanting to hit him. I mean, like, basically called his shot. Think about Jack Carr getting pitched that.
How did he respond the first time you guys kind of talked about it and went through it?
Love it.
Nice. I love it.
Yep.
No question.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yes, love it.
That's awesome. I love it.
His new book, which is the 6th installment of the Terminalist series, Only the Dead, is currently available at all bookstores. You should buy it.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell through. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
He's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5. If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
It stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen, I'm taking you on
And
the
also, fuck Boston.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He's making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little.
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show fucking stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this holy shitter, we about to learn some crazy stuff. Tuesday, June 27, 2023. Hour 3 of this program starts right now.
Sports!
Or what we normally talk about, especially with that guy to my left, your right, that's AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, and at Boston Connor's new incredible looking mullet. One half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. 14-year NFL vet Pac-Man Jones is here. And joining us live in studio because he had to speak at a Congress and had an event and had another meeting.
Big thing.
Big thing.
Huge.
Yeah.
This guy does stuff.
Yes, he does.
I believe, I don't know if it's I don't know the fucking titles of it. I don't know if he's in the House. I don't know if he's in the Senate. I don't know what his actual job is. I have no idea. He's a congressman who was able to ask questions to somebody that was supposed to have all the answers whenever it came to UFOs and aliens after the Pentagon had decided to release some stuff. We thought we were going to get some real information. We didn't get shit out of that whole thing. But what we did learn about was this man out of Wisconsin's 8th Congressional District.
Hell yeah.
Marine. Congressman Mike Gallagher.
What an honor to be here. My gosh. This is awesome, guys.
You look fantastic.
Congressman, the shirt, honestly. That was, that was a part of the conversation. That was part of the conversation last time. Because
What I wear.
Yeah, I understand. I didn't know this about Congressman, but as soon as you walked in, big pop out of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That is what you choose to wear, and we'll dive into that, obviously.
We got extras in the back.
Very
We'll
nice
put
of
'em
you.
on.
Thank you.
God.
Very, very nice of you. All right, let's dive into this. You have been incredibly kind to us. You have reached out to me to keep my eyes peeled for potentially something that's coming when it comes to UFOs and aliens and everything like that. With what just took place allegedly in Vegas and everything else that seemingly be smoke everywhere with this, are we anywhere near a time where you think, from the information that you have as a congressman, which I still don't know what the fuck that is, but as a congressman, are we going to get any info, you think? Is this really going to be something in our life soon, you think?
Yeah, I actually do. So if you think about what we've done since I was last on the show, we had that hearing, which I think everyone agrees was completely unsatisfying. We didn't get any answers. I asked some basic questions about historical incidents they couldn't answer. So what do we do after that? We actually passed with Senator Rubio and Senator Gillibrand in the Senate. So I'm in the House. They're in the Senate. There's two aspects of Congress.
Boom. Okay.
House
There it is. All right. There's an electoral college, too. This thing's crazy.
Right. You got a president. You got
executive, I believe, branch.
Schoolhouse Rock. It's crazy.
Got it. Yeah, figured out. We're there.
So we passed the big aliens bill. And so this aliens bill did a few key things. One, it created a one-stop shop for all UAP reporting, something called AARO, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. So if somebody has information they think is relevant, if somebody's working in the intelligence community, if someone is working for a defense contractor and they have information related to UAPs, they can report it to AARO, which is critical. We also tasked AARO with doing a bunch of homework, so doing a historical report on every incident going back to 1945, because again, they couldn't answer basic questions about the Malmstrom incident. So AARO owes us a bunch of reports looking through the historical records. And then most importantly, and this is absolutely critical, we created kind of the mother of all whistleblower processes, where if you want to come forward, but you're afraid of being punished or afraid of breaking what's called a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA, we have a process where you can talk to Congress or you can talk to AARO and say, hey, I saw this, I saw that, I was part of this program. And so that was a monumental piece of legislation. And what's happened since we passed that is all sorts of
How many
are coming out of the woodwork.
How many people you think? Like, we're talking hundreds, tens?
For the whistleblowers that we've spoken to in Congress, I can't talk about who they are or the precise numbers, but we have had people come forward. Senator Rubio talked about a few people that he's talked to last night, I think, in a public forum that he had.
So the old rules were, Whenever you'd see something, you'd have to report it chain of command, obviously, and then you sign an NDA, you'll never talk about this again. I think there's a lot of documentaries that kind of have people that say, I was told directly not to talk about this, and then they're on the documentaries, either their faces or things, or their voices are kind of diluted. Now you guys are saying you can break the NDA that you were told by one point, come to tell us because we need the information. Why is now the time we need the information more than ever before?
Because we keep getting more of these incidents that people are reporting. I think as technology gets more ubiquitous and democratized, people have more access to imagery and things like that. It's just impossible to deny. And for the first time ever, at least in my lifetime, as a result of, I think, that hearing and the destigmatization of this process, because the other problem was, even if you had legit like Top Gun pilots coming forward, they were getting ridiculed by all the people that they worked with.
Mav?
I mean, Mav, Iceman, Goose, Rooster.
Yeah, people were talking shit on Mav. I didn't know Mav was coming out saying stuff like that.
It doesn't age.
Mission Impossible coming up.
So now with this whistleblower process, people are coming out of the woodwork. We've also had people separately that are going public and doing interviews based on claims that they're making. Dave Grush did an interview with The Debrief. There's Chris Mellon has written an op-ed recently, and they're claiming that there is a long-standing program to reverse engineer crash materials that people have discovered on the Earth that could have extraterrestrial origins. So all this discussion is happening out in the open like nothing I've seen, and I think it's a result of the hearing and the legislation. We've still got a long way to go, but it's coming out there.
Yeah, whistleblowers said that we have Kraft and Bean.
Oh, yeah.
And then Holly, Josh Hawley.
Senator.
I almost dropped a Todd in there. So he's from the different side over there, right? And Rubio, who spoke about this, they've basically come out and said, what we've been hearing is very similar to what this whistleblower has heard. Is that from the hearings that you guys set up from this new Aliens Act where you have to sign NDA? And is everybody kind of telling the same exact thing?
Again, I have to be very careful protecting the whistleblower process, but it is through the whistleblower process that people are contacting Congress and going through a debrief process where they're saying they've been part of this or that program. And we can't reveal the precise nature of what's been said, but we've had a variety of pretty intense conversations.
How do you guys lay that out? You think once we get enough information, you guys just say, all right, flop them out. This is the alien. This is the UFO. How does that information kind of get rolled? Because the boys have some ideas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of different ways we can go about it. Do we know if they play sports? And we would obviously like to get involved in that entire aspect. We'd like to compete if they would like to compete. And if they want to fight, we got some motherfuckers too. You know, if they want to do that, we can do it. But how do you feel like the rollout, introduction to the world would go about actual aliens and UFOs if you were to have it?
So part of the homework we gave Arrow is they have to do twice a year, they have to give us a classified briefing. And once a year, they have to do an unclassified briefing. Usually when we get these unclassified briefings in written or in spoken form, they're unsatisfying. They don't really go into the details. So I think once we've compiled all this information, and there's other stuff we have to do, we're going to pass hopefully another piece of legislation that Rubio is doing in the Senate and I'll do in the House, which basically says if you are part of any reverse engineering, crashed, exotic materials recovery program, you are not allowed to access any government dollars, but we'll offer you amnesty to come forward and report to us. Because the claim that Dave Grush and others are making is that these programs exist and they're in violation of the law because Congress is unaware of them. So we have to smoke that out in order just to examine that claim. And I think if we have a better body of evidence, then we could come forward with it. I am in favor of transparency on this. I think the American people,
that's going to be a shock factor, though.
So
big time.
That's going to fuck up a lot of shit.
Well, it's not the worst case scenario, though. Think about it. I would actually, depending on what the intention of the aliens are, if indeed it is extraterrestrial. And last time I was here, we went through all the different hypotheses, right? To include the Terminator hypothesis.
So hold on, though.
Us from the future.
If maybe it is potentially time travelers or whatever, which would be crazy.
No.
That would be absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Probably that orange globe we saw.
The portal.
Yeah, we all saw that. But if it was, which some people just try to write it off as, and I know AJ and all the boys have questions, I apologize here, but if they were to write it off as foreign threat or like a different country stuff, we're still fucked, right? Because they have stuff that can do stuff that we don't have, right?
Well, that's my point. That, in my opinion, could be the worst case scenario. If it's China or Russia and they have advanced technology,
that we can't even sniff, right?
We can't even understand the physics of it. I mean, some of the things are going Mach 5 and changing direction. I mean,
but if it was them, they would already use that, right?
In what scenario? That we haven't fought, a force-on-force, great power conflict with either. I mean, we get basically involved in the proxy war in Ukraine right now, but we haven't gone. Last time the Chinese fought a war was 79 against the Vietnamese. Didn't end well for them. So
they send
we
a
don't
balloon
know.
over to say, this is what you guys got.
Well, that's the other thing that's happened, right? So in addition to people coming out of the woodwork, people going public to the media with their reports, we had 4 balloons shot down over North America, which I don't remember the last time that's ever happened. Now, one of these, the Chinese spy balloon, we've been briefed on, but the other 3, including one that went over Lambeau Field, Ty, all right? Yep. That was when
I know
they
you're a big
crossed.
Packer fan, I agree.
Right.
Team looks new this year. I don't know if they're going to have any aliens on it, but
yeah,
maybe.
One certainly left town, went to play
Jordan
for the
Love
Jets.
might be an alien.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
With his
Deep
voice.
voice.
Deep voice.
Good player. Anyway, AJ, you have any questions for Congressman Gallagher?
Yeah, dude, you mentioned committees. I know you're on multiple committees. Aren't you on a committee has to do something with China? What is that doing? And what do you think the other question would be when people try to tell you this is a big distraction from something going on? What's your answer to that? What does that even mean? What are we just getting distracted from?
Well, let me take it in reverse.
At all times, you're saying, not just right now, right?
Well, do you mean like
right now,
aliens as
especially.
a distraction? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, there's stuff appearing on our training ranges, and we don't understand where it's coming from. So as someone who focuses on defense and the defense competition with China, we have to figure that out. We have to be able to control our Rangers. Otherwise, you're putting pilots'
That's why you're
lives
so passionate behind
in
this.
jeopardy, right? That was my entry point into it. And also now I'm just curious about answering the question. I think there's actually a bigger issue, too, of people losing trust in government, trust in institutions. This should be an opportunity for the government to be transparent. If we have information that disconfirms the UAP the extraterrestrial hypothesis or all these other ones, at least shows the government doing something competent and being forward-leaning by declassifying information to the public. So for those 2 reasons alone, I think it's worthy of investigation. And the third one that I'm probably most interested in is whether it's adversary technology, particularly China. So I chair the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party in the House, and we're in charge of developing a comprehensive strategy for how we beat the CCP over the long term. In my opinion, the CCP is by far the biggest threat we faced. In some ways, it's bigger and more complex than the threat we faced from the old Soviet Union and the old Cold War, and beating the Chinese as they attempt to do a variety of things to undermine our sovereignty, send fentanyl into America, killing 80,000 Americans a year, threaten war in the Pacific by threatening to take Taiwan. That, to me, is the biggest national security issue. That's what I'm in charge of in the House, and this is a small subset of that overall effort if it's adversary.
Got it. So that's how you tie into it, because if it is who you are supposed to be trying to keep up with, you were just trying to tell everybody, we're fucked. If they got this, I don't know if I got the plan. We're going to have to grab some other people, maybe some outer worldly thoughts, and kind of get it going. Do you think around Washington there is like a lot of obstacles for you to get this answer?
Yeah.
Isn't Washington just like, I don't know much about your world, okay? At all. On purpose. I try to stay out of it. Seems like everybody that gets into your world, miserable. Our friend Anthony Gonzalez.
Man,
oh boy.
you guys
one of the
cut him
best
down
guys
at-
of all time.
Cut him down at the knees.
He got into politics. We told him, pal, what are you doing? Don't go in there. Everybody that I know in real life that gets into politics, they just literally spend their time yelling at people. They have zero expectation of changing the way they think. They don't think they're going to be able to change the way other people think. They're just always pissed off. I try to stay out of it, like just for the good of me. At some point in my life, I'm going to have to pay attention. I get that. But now is not the time, and hopefully not in the foreseeable future, because I'm enjoying what I got going on. But you guys never get shit done, right? Isn't that kind of what the whole thing about Washington is? You guys just yell at each other the entire time? Who's yelling at you, stopping you from leaking or finding out the actual alien stuff? Is there like an actual adversary that doesn't want anybody to know anything? And then why aren't we just questioning that person?
Well, I think so. First of all, on China, I think there's actually a lot of bipartisan interest. Like, we're working together.
Hell
Democrats
yeah.
on our
That's good.
committee.
Hell yeah.
I think your average American, even like who doesn't follow politics, is on board with us beating the Chi-Coms in this competition.
Yes.
Is that what you guys say in like group text, the Chi-Coms?
Chi-Coms, yeah. Chinese Communist Party, Chi-Coms, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, CCP.
Godless
I'm worried about the Chi-Coms with this guy.
Yeah.
Hey, good luck out there. Good luck out there, Chi-Coms.
I think actually the biggest source of resistance is just people, it's almost like they're embarrassed to talk about the topic, right? They think they're going to be labeled a crazy tinfoil hat, conspiracy theory, Looney Tunes person. So just by having these discussions out in the open, I think it goes a long way. And most of the resistance is just from the bureaucracy in the Defense Department and in the intelligence community. I have about 5 requests right now of the intelligence community, things they owe me to come back on related to UAP stuff, and they're deficient on all these requests. So
That might not come for what, a year, 2 years, 6 months?
maybe. I mean, so that historical report is due next summer, and my understanding is they haven't even started drafting it right now, so I'm worried that they won't.
That's getting pushed.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why we
that's
need
going to be
to-
pushed more than Avatar.
Yeah.
Which have we asked about? That might be...
It could be.
James Cameron, maybe.
Well, so the other hypothesis we didn't talk about last time is that this could, as opposed to being us from the future, it could actually be an ancient civilization that's just been hiding here for all this time.
Like Transformers.
And it's suddenly showing itself right now.
I'll smack those old fucks in the mouth.
Yeah, okay. Huh.
I want to let you know. If they're from this planet, I feel good about us.
Pat, this is why we need you to get involved in politics. On
The
an
answer
alien
is no.
platform.
No
Just
way.
a single issue voter.
Nah.
No.
Like Ted End University.
Nah, I don't need to get into any of it. That's the thing. I'm thankful that you're out there.
Yeah,
you think
big.
more of you people are good people than bad people?
I would say this. When I ran in 2016.
Oh, that's a no.
Yeah, okay. It's when I ran in 2016, I thought the problem with Congress is that it was just all corrupt and super old people. And certainly we have too many people that have been there for too long, right? This is why we need term limits.
Well, those kind of go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, and the more you get there, the more swampy you get. And then these people go and they lobby for, this company or that, or they lobby on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party, actually, because our Foreign Agent Registration Act processes are totally filled with loopholes.
We can't even get Gumpy in here. What are we talking about? We got Chi-Con people in here?
What the hell?
What is the deal, AJ?
I actually think there's a lot of people that come in who want to do the right thing. We're getting a lot of new members, young members, people from the private sector, people from the military, and in some ways I've changed my opinion. I'm not sure the problem is just the people per se, but the people find themselves in a process that sucks, where you basically have to choose. Okay, am I going to do 20 years in order to get to a position of influence, and then finally, if I make it up that greasy pole, maybe I'll be a committee chair. And I'll be able to do the things that I first wanted to do when I came in, or they're just like, I'll just be a bomb thrower on social media or on cable news, and I won't be constructive at all. So it's the process that I think takes good people, and it just chews them up and it spits them out. So fixing the process and reforming the institution of Congress, I think, is the thing you need to get better people to run in the first place, but also get those people to perform when they're in there.
Yeah, so that's never going to happen. Sweet. My only take on it all is like I can't separate the political pundits from the politicians. Like, hey, if you're a political pundit or activist, like, all right, I get you being vocally everything.
Yeah.
But if you're a politician, like, yeah, your ass is in there to fucking enact this stuff. We don't need you starting all the, I think there's no separation between the activists and the politicians. Like, politician's supposed to execute what the activist is looking for, but it feels like when the politician happens, this is very slight knowledge of the situation. It feels like they just become activists in a chair as opposed to somebody that actually gets stuff done, like in reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think as Congress gets weaker, and
that's the one you're in.
Well, yeah. Well, Congress is both the Senate and the House.
Fuck.
Which is the one he's in.
He's definitely in it.
I'm in it.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Yeah. I'm one of 435 in the House as opposed to 100 senators. So as Congress gets weaker, which is actually a scenario the framers did not anticipate. They were concerned Congress would get too powerful. And they said it would suck everything into its impetuous vortex, was the phrase they used. What's happened in the modern era, really starting in the 70s, the executive branch, the president and all the executive branch agencies has grown more and more powerful. Congress has delegated all its responsibility, but members of Congress are still power hungry and they want to, they want to be famous and they want influence. So they're going to the route of media in order to increase their power and influence. So they're becoming kind of like C-list social media celebrities as politicians as opposed to constructive legislators.
Yeah, you're going to become C-list celebrity.
Just got on there talking shit.
Yeah, that whole thing. I don't want to say that I have no hope for it all, but I don't know enough about it to have hope. I liked hearing that you've changed your mindset, though.
Yeah.
You said it. I just thought everybody was corrupt or old. Now it's a little bit different. That's good news. You've been in there. We have not.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to hear that you're at least coming on here for this particular discussion. I feel like that's at least a step in the right direction. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Congressman Gallagher. At the point, at this point on the internet, it's almost like you see a different, alien video every day. Whether legitimately yesterday there was some, sphere similar to what Pat said that he saw of, and it was splitting, and it was in Vegas, and it just happened. Then in Vegas the other day, that family where a kid gave like a 6-minute testimonial about what that was about and how they heard stuff on the roof and everything like that. But there was one recently, and it was about a guy in the military. And he said that he actually saw a bunch of things being loaded onto some massive ship, and then the ship disappeared. And then after that, someone came up to him in a uniform, but no labels, no name tag or anything, no specific country. And so I'm not going to ask about some secret shit like that. But is there some sort of thought that if there was, aliens and the threat that they would want Earth for themselves, that the countries would kind of have to come together in some sort of like, hey, obviously the CCP can go to hell, and we don't love what a lot of communists are doing, and I won't mention anybody else, whether, there are specific people or on shirts in this room. But isn't that a worry that if
Bill Belichick?
No. No, Thanos. This is kind of like a Thanos.
No, that's
shirt.
Bill Belichick.
No, Bill Belichick's not a communist. I can.
No, we agree. Yeah,
I can take
that's
that.
why what you were saying was crazy.
Just anybody's shirt. I wasn't sure if AJ had his Chuck Berry on underneath his or anything like that, or anything specific. Just in general. But is there some sort of thought or at least conversation? Not the United States with the CCP, but even Canada, Mexico, London, or England. Yeah, exactly. Like, is there a kind of emergency plan that the world almost has if things do go very, very badly in this type of alien war?
So if there's an emergency plan, I haven't seen it. One of the arguments people make for transparency, for if there's information, just get it out there, even though the shock value would be high for sure, is that it might actually spark collaboration across country, even potentially with China, at a time when geopolitical hostility is super high. Yeah, which would create a lot interesting situation for me, given that my day job is to figure out how we beat the CCP.
Hell yeah.
And if we got to work with them on the aliens,
you got to put your swords aside.
Yeah, exactly. Swords down.
Hey, listen, we're all, I'm going to deal with you, though. Okay? But not now.
For now.
Because we got a little something coming.
Put our swords down.
They're talking about loading heavy machinery onto it.
Yeah, and
it was like 300 yards long, it said.
Yeah,
right?
3 football fields.
3 football fields long, and then it just vanished out of nowhere.
No sounds or anything.
That person could have just been making it up, but it sounds like too many people are making fucking things up at this point.
Well, that's probably, we have over 500 reports since, I think, 3 years ago when some of this stuff started in earnest. The overwhelming majority of those are not going to be legit, right? They could either be explained away by natural weather phenomenon or the observer error. But there still remains a subset of reports that people can't explain away. I mean, obviously the most prominent one is the Tic Tac video, which is you can't discredit the pilots because they're legit pilots. Even some of these people that have come forward, like Dave Grush, who's the most prominent, he's the elephant in the room right now. He's an Air Force veteran.
Who's Dave Grush?
He is an Air Force veteran with tours in Afghanistan. He worked in the intelligence community for a long time at both the National Reconnaissance Office and the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. He has now done an interview with The Debrief. He did a public interview, I forget on what platform, where he's making the claim that there has been a long-standing program whereby people find materials, and one of his claims is that there's intact machinery and craft that they found that is not of this world, that's exotic or extraterrestrial in its origin, and that we study these in an effort to reverse engineer it. That's the claim that Dave Grush is making publicly.
And you guys are saying it's illegal because Congress doesn't know about it then?
He's saying this program is illegal because it's not subject to regular oversight by Congress.
Got it.
We're trying to figure out if such programs exist and create a mechanism through which people could come and talk to us about it. So then we can figure out, A, is it legitimate information, and B, what the hell do we do?
That seems like a pretty legit guy, though, saying something pretty serious.
Yeah.
If not him, then who do you talk to? The Intelligence Committee this guy's on?
IMF.
And about
Bingo.
The Impossible Mission Forces, obviously, a Mission Impossible, same thing. Pac-Man has a question for you.
Congressman Mike, is this total bullshit?
Whoa.
If we don't have something that explains this.
Whoa.
We're saying it is against the law to give us something that backs this up. To me, it sounds like total bullshit. I haven't seen a picture of what it's supposed to really look like. Yeah, we have seen stuff in the air that could be anything.
It could. I mean, listen. As I told you guys last time I was here, I came in very skeptical. Like the aliens hypothesis is not the one that I'm predisposed.
You're a Marine too. I mean, and I think natural trait would be not with the bullshits.
Yeah,
right.
Well, and it's also I just think there's bad guys out there trying to kill us constantly, like on this earth.
I'm so skeptical.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Always.
We're
Well,
gonna be all right. I just don't pay
Yeah.
attention.
It's
Remember.
true. Fact. It's a fact.
Okay, all right.
At all
Sweet.
times.
Keep us safe then.
Chinese are trying to take us down. You know, there's terrorists trying to take us down. The Iranian regime. We got enemies out there, Pat. We got a lot of enemies
Just
trying to
learning
take
about
down.
the Iranian.
Yeah, that
You can't
last
see
one.
them. I mean, are we going to have to go
Hey,
Fargo fuck yourself. What is the Argo fuck yourself with Iran again? What's the deal?
You want to get Ben Affleck involved?
Sure.
Yeah.
That was a good idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hollywood movie. Why don't you guys do that?
Genius.
So, we don't know. I mean, that's the whole point about, let's just get to the bottom of it. That's what we're trying to solve. By the way, so last time I was on here, the great AJ Hawk told me to go to Wright Pat, which I did solely because AJ Hawk told me to go to Wright Pat. Okay. Did not see an alien at Wright Pat. Did see what looked like an alien spacecraft that I texted you a picture of hiding in plain sight at the Air Force Museum. I mean, this thing looked like a UFO, but I did not see any aliens at Wright Pat.
Is that the one in Ohio?
Yeah, in Ohio.
Yep.
AJ, anywhere else he needs to stop by?
AJ?
That was the rumored spot, but I do like, who owns Epstein's Island right now? Do you know what's going on with that whole situation?
I don't know.
About
I had to
aliens.
ask.
What's wrong with you?
What is right? He's not the guy that
I
has
don't know
the
if he
He's
knows-
trying
I
to
don't know
feed
if he
Chai
has
columns.
Could be there.
Shed any light on
The
this?
Chinese
I'm just
probably
curious.
own it at this point. They're buying up all the
Yeah.
farmland in America near military bases.
Oh,
they could own
man.
it.
There was a movie about that.
Island.
Why they?
Yeah, what's
so why are
that
you guys
about?
letting that happen?
We actually fixed. This gets to the problem about executive branch too big and not held accountable. We passed a law 4 years ago to fix something called the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. There's this interagency committee that's supposed to review all these types of deals. If a Chinese entity wants to buy a telecommunications company in America or a big food company in America, they have to pass the CFIUS review process. We amended their authorities to give them the authority to deny real estate purchases near military bases. And then they claimed they didn't have the authority when they put all sorts of implementing regulations in it. So now we're having to go back and clarify that authority and shine a light on this dereliction of duty and potentially change the CFIUS process again so that the Chinese don't buy land right near military bases.
Yeah, it's not just that, right? Food, right? A lot of farms are getting
Farmland,
bought up,
exactly.
everything. Feels like that's a zoomed out attack. Now, you said a lot of words there that nobody understands but you. But it sounds like what happened was a little fuckery.
Yeah.
And there's a little clause in there maybe that wasn't completely dotted or crossed of a T. And now Congressman has to do that to the executive committee, and then who has to sign off on that?
Well, I have a bill right now.
Jesus. This
get
is what I'm talking about.
I got to get this bill passed.
You guys got no shot, right?
Yeah.
That thing's got no shot.
Got to pass through your house.
Hey, we didn't optimize our government for efficiency, Pat. It's inefficient by design, all right? You don't want any one person to dominate. That's sort of the feature, not the bug of the system. But it is maddening when you can't get obvious things done.
like that.
That's the whole point.
So did you catch them when they buy those properties? Like, what's the process?
The process, well, there was a case in North Dakota. There's one brewing in Northern California near Travis Air Force Base. In a lot of cases, it's the local residents that are complaining, and then it winds its way up to us, and then we say, well, what the fuck? What are you guys doing about this to CFIUS? And then we just have to shine a light on it, and then in order to get them to talk to us. And so that's how it happened in both these cases. So we don't in Congress we don't have the ability, short of passing a law, to block this or that transaction. That's why we created this whole review process.
Isn't this where all the smartest people go, allegedly? Politics? Isn't this where smart people go?
I would not say that Congress is a repository for the smartest people in the world.
Okay.
I would say
I just wanna
there
say-
are some very smart people there. Yes,
But there's a lot of real life people
It's a
that are
cross-section of
dealing with
America.
real life who judge us sports people a lot. You know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers need to tighten up. Okay?
Yeah, but
Y'all need to tighten your shit up. I am about dumb. Harvard, all this other stuff. You guys can't do shit. You guys ever have ruined it? What do we even?
The fuck?
That sounds like the worst operating process of all time. You said a subcommittee of a subcommittee that has to meet about something about a law that you can't even pass, that should pass.
Well, I think we're going to pass this law.
Atta baby.
There you
Here
go.
we go.
Hey, we passed the aliens bill, Pat.
Yeah.
Because you guys
That's
were
one.
shining a light on it.
Exactly.
So,
Oh, we're a part of it.
yeah,
That's one.
why you
There
can't
it is.
ignore it. So,
Get Bill
There we
to
go.
the front of the line.
That's a classic
that's
video.
a class point right there. But I have a question for AJ Hawk. Is that allowed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, AJ Hawk, I've been wanting to ask you this question my entire life. So basically, when you were drafted, this would have been, 2006-ish?
Yep.
There was a field goal post across the street from the stadium, across Lombardi on Shadow Lane, and they put a huge hawk in the middle of it, and it said, "The hawk has landed." And it was there for at least 5 years. Did you ever see that? Because I would always drive by it, and I would think, it must be awesome to be AJ Hawk and have this huge field goal with a gigantic hawk in there, just being like, I have landed in Green Bay. Was that even on your radar at all?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's right there. Yeah, I saw it. I'm sure my parents probably have pictures of it somewhere. But yeah, people there, as you know, people there are very nice and support the Packers.
Who owns that field goal? That needs to be in this office.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is the Hawkins landed field goal still up?
No, they paint over. I think they continue and they paint new things all the time.
So Jordan Love. It's a big heart.
Yeah,
Big heart.
love is in the air.
How do you feel about it? You pumped about it? New era. Got to do it.
I love love, man. What can I say?
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
ELE.
Who makes that
knows
shirt?
what to expect? I don't know.
It's the internet. I think he made them. He had a.
All I know is that they weren't made in China.
All right, maybe. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Congressman Gallagher. What's going on with when China was buzzing the tower of one of our airplanes or cutting off one of our ships?
Yeah.
Is that them trying to get us to retaliate?
Fifth generation.
Or what is going on there?
It's them trying to get us to back down. So this is actually critical
so it's
that you brought this up.
Thank you.
So at the same time this was happening, I'm not going to get political. I'm not going to criticize the other side, but let's just say certain officials in the government, in the executive branch right now, have been running around the world like desperately trying to get a meeting with Xi Jinping or the defense minister. Yep. So our Secretary of Defense tried to sit down with their defense minister at this big conference in Singapore called Shangri-La. This guy's sanctioned because he used to be in charge of Hong Kong. The CCP took over Hong Kong. It's a big tragedy. So we're trying to sit down at the table with high-level Chinese Communist Party officials, and every time we reach out for a meeting, they either refuse and then do something like that, where they get dangerously close to one of our destroyers in the Taiwan Straits, or they buzz one of our airplanes. So the idea, in my opinion, is to collapse our will to fight, to win without fighting, and basically to get us to back down so that we wouldn't defend Taiwan if and when they make a move to take it over by military force, as well as just to flex their muscles on the world stage. I mean, we've been hemming and hawing about building a bigger Navy, building a 355-ship Navy for the past decade. Well, the CCP went out and actually did it. They actually built the bigger Navy right now. So I think they're flexing their muscles in an attempt to intimidate. Not by numbers.
Yeah, we do. Bigger, badder, stronger.
What the hell?
Ours is better, for sure.
Bingo, yeah.
Our average sailor is far more capable,
Hell yeah.
trained.
It's not giveaway game plan here. Yeah.
No.
It's not, okay,
We
don't
got
need
the SEALs, too.
Yeah, we got guys, bro. We were ready to.
And Mav.
So that plane, though, we have that plane, the one that they fucking do-si-doed around our.
Yeah, and
that thing was sick. I thought I was watching Top Gun.
Yeah.
That fucker did a full flip on his side. They turned that son of a bitch sideways.
It went inverted.
And then it did a stare down at however many hundreds of miles an hour, whatever that surveillance plane could go at, and then goes around and then just sails off. What it sounds like you were saying there is that was a potentially here's our response, here's our RSVP to your wanting to meet with us.
Yeah.
And then they do it again.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
big
what they
escape.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got do we have any contact with these people that you think are our biggest
And
threat?
do we do that too?
Yeah,
we do what's called freedom of navigation patrols, where we'll send ships going through the Taiwan Strait just to maintain that this is,
Are these
international
our best
waters.
ships? These are good
you know.
ships?
These are destroyers, are highly capable ships. We have patrol planes that are going in the region.
We
all the
lighting
time.
off fireworks while we're going through there? Let
I
people
don't think
know?
they're lighting off fireworks, but they're demonstrating
We got
their
fifth-gen fighters over
capability. Fifth gen.
Do we?
We do have fifth gen fighters. F-35s are fifth gen. The real issue with the Chinese military is it's not their Navy that they built. It's not their advanced aircraft. It's that they built what I call an anti-Navy. They built something called the rocket force. So basically, for the last decade, they took long-range missiles because they weren't bound by any of these international treaties that we're bound by. And for relatively cheap, you're talking millions of dollars versus billions of dollars for a big ship. Yeah. They can keep our ships out of the region or target them at very low cost because they have thousands and thousands of advanced rockets that they're
but
aiming
we got the Rooster hit the
Yep.
flares.
Yeah, that's right.
We got all the flares though. We
Yeah,
got all
I mean,
the flares.
it's not the plane. It's
Do
the
we have a
pilot.
rocket
Yeah,
force?
exactly.
Well said.
Do we have a rocket force or no?
We do not have an official rocket
What
force.
the fuck?
Yeah, but we
Get
could.
Elon on that. Can we not get Elon on the rocket force?
Elon. So what Elon could do is, given his low Earth orbit satellite infrastructure that he has with Starlink, he could do something called orbital bombardment, otherwise referred to as rods from God. And the idea was you'd be able to just with tiny tungsten rods target anyone on the face of the Earth from satellites. This is actually a serious idea that was talked about in the late 60s. I don't think Elon wants to weaponize Starlink, but hey, the Chinese would do it.
The drone wars are the wars that we're in right now, and like the show of force always going to happen. I guess they're saying any military person I've ever talked to said if you want to win a war or something, you need boots on the ground Do you think that is still true? And do you think we're inevitably going to be in a war again? World War III trends every weekend.
A lot.
Right? Every weekend, World War III is trending.
So one, I think what's going on in Ukraine proves that you still do need you still need boots on the ground, and there's no substitute for what's called esprit de corps, which is like will to fight. Right? The Russians don't have it. The Ukrainians do have it. They're fighting for something. I mean, I think a version of that's true on the football field. I would imagine. Right? But you're also seeing the actual use of AI in warfare with things called loitering munitions and other AI capabilities that we're experimenting with right now in Ukraine. So I think AI is going to play a bigger role in future warfare, but it's not going to eliminate the fundamentally human nature of warfare. War is a contest of will. It's a fundamentally human endeavor. Technology can change the character of it, but it can't change the fundamental nature of the war. As for World War III, I think it's within our power to prevent it. I mean, that's why I was here in Indiana giving a speech about how to prevent World War III.
Like that. Because I don't really pay attention to what you guys got going on over there. I know there's shit's popping off. And Prigozhin and the Wagner Group.
Right.
That whole thing. I know. And then I see World War III trending. I'm like, well, let me click on it, I guess. Oh, this one looks real.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Looks like we're going to war. Fuck. All right, I'm going to get off the internet for today, and I'm going to go hang out with my baby and my wife, hopefully, and keep it moving.
Hey,
you guys will handle it.
Congrats on that, by the way.
Thank you.
That's
I appreciate that. You
That's
too.
amazing.
I know you got a couple
I
kids.
got a couple young daughters. It's the best, man.
But you're saying we're probably not. That's good. That's
Well,
good to hear.
It depends on what we do. I think this is the decisive decade. So my whole theory of the world when it comes to China is that China, which is a totalitarian dictatorship where one guy's in charge of everything, they're trying to succeed where the Soviets failed. I think they are going to get more aggressive this decade because they have a lot of problems in the next decade. In the 2030s, they have a huge demographic issue. Too many old people, not enough young people. One child policy was a total disaster. So they got a demographic buzzsaw they got to deal with. They got a bunch of economic problems. So if Xi Jinping wants to achieve his legacy, cement his legacy as a paramount leader in the system on par with Mao, he needs to. What?
What?
I was just.
Yeah. What happened?
What?
Please go on.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. He needs to make a move.
How are we supposed to take you serious
Decade.
wearing that shirt?
Yeah. This is
That's
just
the
a
problem.
shirt.
That's the
Am I not allowed to
distraction.
wear? Do I have to wear suits all the time? Can I not wear? a t-shirt?
Yes, I just want to be relatable.
Yeah, it's good.
Blue suit, red tie. What are you doing?
This is me trying to be like, you know.
So we're trying to shake their hands though, and they're taking the 5th-gen fighter pilots.
What's more worrying is that engagement with China as a strategy failed for 2 decades, right? We all made the same bet on China. We're like, we're gonna engage with them economically. It's gonna change their behavior. They're gonna become what's called a responsible stakeholder in the international system. So what happened is they took access to the global economy and they did certain things like steal our intellectual property, eviscerate manufacturing jobs, particularly in the industrial Midwest. Indiana was just a manufacturing powerhouse. Great state, by the way.
Great state.
I love it.
Yeah.
Airport's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's only a few flights in and out, but it's beautiful.
It's clean. It's efficient.
Not a lot of flights, not a lot of people. It is very clean. It is awesome.
That's why you bring people to you, Pat.
No, well, nobody's coming, but we are appreciative that you stopped by this entire thing. And I think they also, if I do recall, weren't they doing something with like the values? They were changing our money comes and goes. Its value internationally. Didn't they do something that completely undercut all of our money and we pretty much?
Well, it's 2 claims. One, that they manipulate their currency, and then 2, they're trying to de-dollarize the global economy. So the dollar is the world's reserve currency. This gives us a lot of advantages. We wouldn't be able to sanction countries were it not for the fact that the dollar is dominant. They're trying to basically reduce the role of the dollar in international transactions, which would give them a lot of influence and would reduce our influence. So a lot of what they're doing in Latin America.
Because what they're saying is, why does that country get to be?
Yeah. And they're trying to do like central bank digital currency, where basically like a digital yuan would be another mechanism of the party controlling everything. So you couldn't do any financial transaction without the CCP knowing about it or being able to use it.
Tricoms. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, going back to the alien stuff, like when we talk about how we've seen like 500 different things in the last however many weeks or whatever, and as it becomes more common, I know you kind of touched on it, but how difficult is it to go through this and be like, okay, that's clearly bullshit? Like in the Vegas one, we had the ring video, and you see the craft fall, and it seems very real, and it's terrifying. And then a video comes out, and it's like some fucking 3rd grader drew the aliens, and we see them, it's like a bad CGI in someone's backyard. Do you think that's a detriment with how many more are coming out, and it's very easy to kind of just diminish all of this? It's like, hey, 90% of this stuff is bullshit, and then, there still might be like a few things that, we need to look into, but like, does that kind of change or impact like how quickly we're going to get answers about this?
I definitely think it makes it harder. I mean, but I think that's just the price you pay in order to cast a wide net so people come out of the woodwork and report. And you may get one legit report for every 1,000, but that's what you have to do. That's why we not only consolidated everything under this new one-stop shop in Arrow, we gave it more authority, and we made it a direct report to the Deputy Secretary of Defense, the Deputy Director of National Intelligence, so it has the ability to sift through all this stuff and identify what's legit and what isn't. We also sort of told them, work with the private sector to the extent possible, because there's a lot of people with a lot of resources in the private sector that are interested in this topic who want to get to the bottom of it. Oh, by the way, you can actually use AI in this case to sift through some of the information to determine what's legit, what isn't, what's a deep fake. So, I mean, AI, it's another double-edged sword. You could have some AI-generated image or video that spreads misinformation.
AI Drake right now.
Yeah, I mean, AI, Biden, Obama, and Trump are playing Call of Duty yesterday.
Yeah, AI is a real powerful weapon, but AI is choosing what to tell you and what not to tell you.
Right.
You know, that's then you're starting to put the power in something you don't even understand. Yeah. That's a crazy world you live in. But we appreciated you and not us.
Yeah.
Good luck over there. We hope you figure it all out, man, honestly. We don't need to, from what you've heard.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't tell us anything.
Yeah.
You could.
I could.
You could.
And then I would I'd probably go to jail.
You'd have that guy on your shirt coming after you.
Treason.
Yeah,
there will come a
nobody
point
wants you in jail.
when we can declassify. So we had passed a law to force the administration to declassify all the intelligence related to the origins of COVID. So that just tells you how the lengths to which you have to go to declassify information.
Well, we know what that was. Don't we?
Well, they came back a week ago, and the report was. I mean, it had no useful information.
You don't say.
At all. It was all redacted. It was.
We already know.
Yeah. It came from the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. Yeah.
What?
I thought it was bat soup.
No.
Wait, what institute?
Yeah.
What was it called, you said?
Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Of what?
In China.
Of what, though?
Of virology.
What's that?
It's the study of viruses.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit.
Coincidence.
There was one in there?
That wouldn't make sense.
I feel like I heard this on a late night show one time.
Yeah.
Oh, Jon Stewart said
yeah,
this.
he did say that, didn't he?
This was there the whole time?
That's obviously anti-Asian racism. If you
well, you've said a lot of things. I mean, with the way you're saying
Chi-coms.
I mean, you're doing that. So has that been just admitted now that that is what it is?
Well, the administration, what they came back with didn't have anything useful in it. I think we keep getting all these reports. The Wall Street Journal had a report 2 weeks ago that basically said you had researchers there that were getting sick prior to the pandemic. So all the circumstantial evidence, as we've known from the start, is pointing at the Wuhan Institute.
No, from the start there was
the soup.
Bat soup.
Bat soup.
Well, the CCP blamed the American military. They said it came from Fort Detrick.
Good play.
Yeah.
By them.
That's
great spin zone.
That's their playbook.
What won't these sons of bitches do?
Well, it sounds like
I don't know. Definitely, they won't practice Muslim.
That is an accurate assessment of what's going on over there.
That's true.
I believe that's another thing you could look up that's happening right now. Go ahead, Tone.
Do the presidential candidates know that if they roll an alien out on the stage,
they win?
They win.
Have you thought about this? You're a congressman.
Yep.
You're a Marine guy.
Let's bump you up.
You could potentially just run for
You
president.
automatically win.
Well, I was thinking
Flop one out.
So in terms of next steps, we need to do the bill where we make it illegal to spend any money on some sort of reverse engineering program.
Sure.
I need to go to Area 51.
Yeah.
It has taken me a year to get approval to go to Area 51, so that's next on my list.
You got approval though?
I have approval to go to Area 51.
Holy shit!
Is that where they are though? Is that too public? Don't you think they're?
I don't know. I thought they were at Wright Pat, but I didn't see him at.
I got a buddy that drives the perimeter of Area 51 like every couple months. He's a bit out there. He's been arrested a few times, but let me know. He could hook you up.
Carpenter? He actually has that type
bothered.
style of run. What was that style of run they were going to do? Naruto running style into Area 51. That was AJ's buddy that was kind of putting that whole thing together. So you go out to Area 51?
Area 51, but we need to inject it into the presidential race. I mean, we're deep in the throes of a presidential race, so we need this to be on the radar of all the presidential.
This is all a distraction there for
candidates.
something else or what? To AJ's point?
I mean, listen, I think you can do more than one thing in Congress. My main effort is, again, how we beat the Chi-coms, how we beat the CCP, how we prevent war in the near term and win the new Cold War over the long term. But after this hearing and after coming on your show, I want to get to the bottom of this issue. And I know it's frustrating. I know you want me to come here and say, we figured it out.
Yeah.
It's us in the future.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You guys need to understand how far we've come, though, since last we came on your show. In terms of the aliens bill, in terms of what's being talked about publicly, This has been a sea change in the conversation. So
right,
you guys
good for
also
us.
have a massive freaking platform. It's everywhere I go after that one appearance. People don't come up to me and say, "Hey, good bill that you passed on China or this or that." It's all, "Hey, I loved you talking about aliens on Pat McAfee's show."
Oh, sick. Well, happy people do it. Those people aren't wearing suits, though, right? They're asking.
This was last week at the United Lounge in O'Hare. A guy who's a West Virginia alum came up and said, "Love John Pat McAfee." This morning at the defense conference, I'm 5 minutes away from giving a speech that I worked really hard on and I thought people were going to pay attention to. And some guy came up to me and he whispered in my ear, he's like, "Hey, I loved when you were on Pat McAfee, man."
Oh, that's awesome.
My entire public career is solely going to be reduced to my appearance.
Hey, I'll tell you what,
Pat
you
McAfee.
flop an alien out there.
Yeah.
You whatever. I understand you gave a great speech. Nobody's going to remember a word you said. You pop that thing out there. How was the speech? How long did you talk for?
Like 20 minutes, but...
Oh, not bad. You're not reading, right? You memorized?
I memorized part of it. I mean, I had it written out in front of me. So
What do we do? Do we look down? Are we talking up here? Do we have a teleprompter?
No teleprompter. No teleprompter.
So you're just looking down notes, reminding yourself, then doing your thing?
Yeah.
Walking, pacing, staying in
I like to do speeches where I pace back and forth. This one I was at a podium, though.
Oh, my God. Sound like you hated it. I'm happy our guy said what's up, though.
You should partner with Jack Carr, and you guys can write a nonfiction book with all of the non-factual details that are actually factual details.
Follow up, have you talked to Jack Carr? Because he says he rounds up a lot of people that have a lot of information before he does his books in the government.
I have not, but Jack Carr, so he did the...
Terminal list.
I might have bought a bunch of axes from Jack Carr.
Winkler axes?
Winkler axes?
Yeah, so I bought Winkler axes for everybody on the select committee on China. That had the motto of the committee on it.
That's awesome.
Strength and honor?
Yeah, what is the
Freedom
motto?
is the victor.
Freedom is the victor.
That one's awesome too, though.
Bro.
Yeah, sign that one off.
He said decisive decade.
Yep.
I mean, you had some bars today. I forget what else you said.
Feature, not the bug.
Oh, yeah, whenever he was talking about the overall thing.
You gonna run for president or what?
Yeah, what's the deal? Is that the goal?
So what's the platform? So step one,
Normal?
complete aliens and COVID transparency. You say you don't pay attention to politics, but there's got to be issues that you care about.
I like to smoke dope everywhere I go.
Everywhere.
I like to be able to
If you could just be a normal guy.
I like to be able to
marijuana legalization
everywhere.
Marijuana legalization.
Everywhere.
I mean, let's go ahead and get that.
I mean, now I'm
I don't
want to
pay taxes anymore.
I'm done with taxes.
Yeah.
Me
Cool.
Me either.
Just be normal. That'd be cool.
Normal, aliens, no taxes. and
I'm
you're
sick of
rich.
I'm sick of the seatbelt rule too. Yeah, thank you. I'm sick of the seatbelt rule. I know it's saved a lot of people's lives, but I don't need an extra reason to get pulled over because I want my shoulders to breathe. I can hop on my motorcycle. I don't even got to wear a helmet. So then I hop in a car. It's like that guy can eyeball if I got my seatbelt on, and then now I got a 15, 20-minute conversation with the old officer. Get it out. I think you can win some people over with that.
Potholes, too.
Can we take
Potholes, ban those.
Old people driving, get them out.
They have to retest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Retest.
That's 70.
Mortgage rates are real high.
65.
What do we do? I mean, healthcare is the biggest issue. It's where we're spending all our money. People are getting
Yeah, the
sick. We
NFL
got an
only gives it
obesity
for
problem.
5 years after we
Pac-Man,
retire.
you got to have a solution to like the obesity.
This show has some good ideas on health.
Ozempic, bro.
I really don't. It's just don't eat every fucking thing in front of you. I guess I'm kind
do
of
that.
Yeah, this guy eats candy and Hardee's. You're talking to the wrong
All day,
guy.
I work out every day.
Well,
Not every day. He took a couple of days off
2
last
to
week.
3
Didn't get
days.
fat. We didn't saw it.
We
saw it.
subsidize sugar, though.
What?
How about Ozempic?
Huh?
How about Ozempic?
What about-
Semaglutide. Have you guys looked into that?
So here, what happens when you get off it, though? Doesn't
Don't
that
get off it.
just-
Just
It's like
don't
getting
be-
off, it's
Yeah.
like getting off of any diet. You get fat again.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, so you
seems
don't
like a Band-Aid on a sucking chest wound at that point.
Yeah, but isn't that like kind of your guys'
if
thing?
you've exhausted everything else, right? If you work out, if
There's
you've
people
got
that
your
aren't going to
diet-
do that though.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, take a shot.
I think there's a
the
pill.
pill.
I think there's a
Pill.
pill
Yeah.
coming. That feels like the right answer.
Yeah.
But then you got people just taking more pills than less pills, which is an overall issue. Jesus.
Yeah.
Good luck with that one. Figure it out. Why are you asking us, bro?
Yeah.
I'm fucking sick of it.
I didn't know
I'm
about
tired of
that.
you asking us for stuff.
Yeah.
We're asking you for stuff.
Okay.
Figure it out. We're tired of people being fat.
Yep.
Yep.
We would like people have more
Tired of
opportunity.
seatbelts.
Yep.
Smoke more weed.
Bad drivers.
Old drivers,
Old
retested.
drivers. Yep.
Yeah.
If you could talk, that'd be great.
Got it.
When are we
Oh,
gonna-
bring back the quesarito.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
What about like
Guitar Hero? Yeah, that too.
Guitar Hero? So we're talking about airports and healthcare. What did just build it, like putting pull-up bars in front of every gate in every airport? Just encourage people just to do pull-ups.
Think about
Strong.
I like
Especially with
that.
the Murph, with how popular the Murph is getting, where you got to be able to do 100 pull-ups or something like that.
Yeah, and then if you can't do a pull-up, you gotta go ride the plane in baggage.
Yeah, the number of pull-ups you do dictates whether you're first class or coach or where
That's
you're
a great
comfort
idea. Your
plus.
ticket is how-
it's a meritocracy, not just you can't buy your.
You're not going to be able to raise a lot of money, I don't think, because a lot of the people sitting in first class. Probably doing a lot of the donations. I don't know if they're going to get in that, but I'm fucking with it. If I can sit.
Faster planes. Faster planes. What about that one?
Concorde. Faster planes, supersonic planes. By the way, it's illegal to fly that fast across certain parts of America. There's actually some cool defense companies coming out, Boom, Supersonic, and others, which are building super fast airplanes. Airplane speed has not increased in like the last 2 decades. It's crazy.
Why?
That's
What's
dumb
the
regulation.
What's the one you was talking about that's supposed to go from where? I think you said
the Concorde.
Concorde is supposed to go New York to London like 4 hours or something like that. 2 hours.
But the most important issue is we got to beat the Chi-Coms. Okay,
Yes.
that's number one.
That's your platform.
That's the unifying issue.
That's your
and
legacy.
I'm in.
We need to rebuild the military. We need to stop funding our own destruction by people investing in Chinese AI companies. And we need to rediscover the fact that we're the good guys, right?
Yes.
Our values are better. America's the leader of the free world. Beat the Chi-Coms. That's the unifying message.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Take them down.
We appreciate you. You probably stayed way too long.
Yeah.
We asked you the dumbest questions you've heard in a long time. But we genuinely appreciate it. Having a little Wisconsin beer, too.
My gift to you guys, I smuggled it across state lines.
What is it?
Spotted cow. Only sold in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Oh, that's like your guys' Yingling in Wisconsin?
Yeah. Well, Yingling is also our Yingling. We got.
Well, now it is because Yingling inevitably said, all right, fuck it. We'll sell it to the whole world, I guess, and make billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Spotted cow is the one that people have to drive to, get.
You get at the airport. So, bought it at the Green Bay airport.
So you drink beer, have a good time, wear T-shirts.
It's been a real honor wearing T-shirts. Yeah, talking about aliens. It's been
the best.
An honor of my life.
Hell yeah. Can't wait for you to hear about it in more very crucial times of your life.
I'm sure I will hear a lot about what I've said in the last 30 minutes. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I hope.
Happy we're a part of it. I want to let you know, I don't know if you've said anything in your guys' world that is like news breaking or anything like that, but I've been a part of that world a couple different times with the quarterback of the team that you used to enjoy.
Yeah.
Some of those politician websites say rude things.
Man, oh man.
They cooked me. I mean, pretty good.
For what?
Just not being jocked.
That's not that jocked.
I was said that not to be jocked in like 4 different languages whenever Aaron was like, I ain't getting the vaccine. And then boom, we're on every single news in the entire world pretty much.
SNL.
4 different languages were calling me not jocked. I mean, it was a tough body shame situation. So if I need to go down the road again with you, I'll be honored.
Hey, listen. I need you on that wall, Pat. I need you standing with me in defense of America against both the aliens and the godless communists that are trying to destroy us. So,
Amen.
I get that you don't like politics, Pat, but politics infuses everything. You're in it, whether you like it or not.
That's what everybody's saying to me about going to ESPN.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, this is what selling out to ESPN looks like. I mean, it looks great in here. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
Well,
It's pretty good. We got an autograph rifle over there from Jack Carr, Strength and Honor. Right over there, actually.
Luckily, Sun Tzu passed away recently, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, the art of war is crazy. You know, he died.
Yeah.
No longer with us. Sun Tzu?
Only
Yeah.
good gift from the China.
No longer. Shit. Whoa.
Heart of War, Sun Tzu, died.
Yeah.
Was it COVID? Did COVID kill him?
Good COVID not survive.
He was heading up that lab.
I mean, who knows? What was it? How many thousands
was like-
BC?
Yeah, I think like
Long time.
2500 BC.
Maybe COVID. Maybe COVID's like cicadas. Where
Remember,
it just nestles.
remember COVID 1. The bat called in, talked about his great grandpappy, COVID 1.
Do you remember? We were live during that whole thing. Now that you're saying what you're saying about the viral lab, the virus lab, we were live during the whole thing. We said one time, isn't that potentially? They almost took us off YouTube.
Yeah, almost ripped
We
us
were
right down.
almost at that time. Today, with everything you said, there's a chance we get kicked off of YouTube before tomorrow. That's an interesting part of this whole. That's the deepest I get into politics is like when people are telling me that I'm going to get kicked off a platform for something that's being said. I'm like, kicked off a platform? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, people do get like, it like comes out. People do get kind of squat. That's a scary thing. Why don't you guys figure that out too? That'd be a great platform actually.
There it is.
You freeing the platforms potentially.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it was the promise of Elon Musk on Twitter, right? No more.
What do you think of that?
censorship,
What do you
things
think of Elon's Twitter?
I mean, I think it's better for sure. I'm not sure as a business it's making money right now, but I'm not. So what's interesting? So I'm not on social media at all. I have it outsourced. Like it's not even on my phone. My staff does like an official account. It's super boring. But I swear to God, the last time when I came on here before, And I may or may not have made some comments about a prominent wrestler who may or may not have apologized to the Chinese Communist Party in Mandarin for saying something. He shall remain nameless.
Okay.
My comms
Thank
director,
you for his name remaining nameless.
Yep. Yeah. My comms director sent me a picture, a screenshot that said, John Cena is now following you on Twitter.
Jeez.
And I was like, oh shit, this guy's going to come kick my ass.
That's right. And that would be an L to the Chi Coms. In your eyes, right?
Yeah.
In your eyes.
That's peacemaker.
Can't have that, bro. That's
Yeah.
your life. Jeez Louise.
I'm looking around corners. It's
Sorry. Yeah, bingo.
He's going to be pumped. He'll be pumped after today.
All right. I appreciate you for joining us. I'm going to digest everything you said,
Yes. Yeah.
and I'm going to change the way I look at the world.
That's right.
And I'm going to feel good about no World War III, even though it's going to trend
we got
every single weekend. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Mike Gallagher. All right, that's it for today, AJ. Hope you take it all in. Thanks for the Epstein Island conversation. Happy we got to the bottom of that. Who knows who bought it? He said maybe the Chi Coms.
Yeah,
All the boys, great work today. Pac-Man, great work. Congressman, thank you. Ian Rappaport, Jet Passing stopped by. Bill's taking great photos. This has been a hell of a Tuesday. Congrats to LSU. We're back tomorrow with some more bullshit. You all are the best people on earth for allowing us to do this for a living. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Might change their life. Goodbye.